morning, Westeros.
And welcome to our Morning Throners podcast.
I'm Nelson.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Kyle.
And we are your Morning Throners.
And welcome back to another episode of your favorite Song of Ice and Fire podcast. We are your Morning Throners with Cat of the Canals 1 or Arya 3. Gentlemen, how you guys doing?
Pretty good.
This was a good one. It was, it's always fun exploring a new place, right? But at the same time, confusing as fuck.
We ended the spoiler chapter. Just for all the listeners, we did record the spoiler section first, and we ended it with what do we think Kyle would think about this chapter, and we pretty much, I think we nailed it on the head.
Yeah. I said Kyle generally likes the Bravos ones, so we thought you'd kind of like it, but Jeff's like, yeah, but there's a lot going on that doesn't seem to like, there's just a lot of new names and shit like that, that's like, okay, who cares?
Timeline, too. I
got some timeline questions, but we'll get into that. But, yeah. Any other general thoughts?
The unfair advantage that you had on that guess was that that has also been kind of my last, 6 answers, I feel like, where I was like, this chapter felt fun, but I didn't fucking have a clue what was going on, so explain it to me. But no, this one, I felt like there was a little more going on, but I also feel like this one was more I wasn't supposed to know what was going on kind of thing, right? Like, because, even at the end, there's, the twist that he doesn't explicitly tell you, right? So, I feel like that's kind of a lot of the chapter is built in that, she's in this weird place. She's acting not covert, but
she's in disguise.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Turtle.
Sure. Yeah, bring that reference up. Everybody will understand that one.
I had that DVD. It's a great movie.
I know, but I feel like there's a very small window of people that know what
everybody should go back and watch it, though. What a classic. All right. I'll say this to you, Kyle. I don't know after reading that, how much of the chapter actually matters in the grand scheme of things, right?
No.
It is a lot of details on her being Cat of the Canals, where it's all right, what is the actual goal of Cat, right? Is it just to go to learn some new shit every night and come back, or is there another purpose to being Cat?
We can get into it now, I guess, but yeah, I think he's teaching her, right, by also not teaching her, and kind of you got to learn 3 things. It's up to you to figure out what they need to be, right?
Yeah.
And the value that they need to have, and kind of, I don't know. It seems like that's kind of part of it. Is you go learn by yourself, stay hidden, and that's part of this whole process is figuring out what's important, where you can use these, where you can use this pieces of information. All information is useful. That kind of thing. That's what I'm getting out of it, I guess. I don't know that I finished my whole thought, but yeah.
She's in an unpaid internship, and it's nope, just go do the job and let me know how you did.
I think part of the reason you say that too, Jeff, is because I've said it before, we're getting to the end of the books, right? There's just not enough that me and you know of what happens next. A bunch of characters that we just met for the first time could be really important in Winds of Winter, is my point. You know what I'm saying? It seems like we're getting introduced a bunch of people for nothing, but it's because we haven't seen what happens next.
Let me just give you an example.
Yep.
We spend a little bit of time on the 2 daughters, Bria and Talia. And sure, I don't know what the fuck. Does it really mean anything that Talia's going up and playing twiddle sticks up on the roof?
It's Bria, but it doesn't matter.
I don't know. Is that Matt? Does it bring in the cut purse thing of it all? There's just info. There's cut purses. I learned how to use a knife. There's sisters that are going around hanging out with Cupper. There's just a lot of things that are going on in Bravos, which again, it's our 3rd chapter here, so yeah, of course there's a lot going on in this city. But
I think that feeds into what I was saying, where everything's a lesson, right? And you can learn. Bria's sneaking out from her dad, so here you're kind of paying attention to that, and she's learning that aspect of it, and learning how to be a cut purser, learning how to use a knife, learning how to protect herself, learning how to blend in, learning how to get in all these different locations easily, right? She's just selling fucking clams, cockles, and mussels, and now she's gallivanting around talking to people that aren't supposed to be talking to, right? Or talk to. So I think that's kind of all of it, Jeff, right? Sure, these lessons and tasks seem meaningless or points seem meaningless, but they all, in the scheme of things, build this Cat of the Catland.
And I said this in the spoiler section. This this chapter to me just kind of reminds me of a Rocky workout montage, right? Like
It's gonna be a montage.
Yeah.
she's carrying the cast around. She's getting physically stronger. She's learning how to talk to people, even without learning all the languages, right? Like she's kind of a chameleon to things. And yeah, so I do agree with you. She's learning a lot of skills of how to just kind of interact with people.
Yeah, and I agree with both of you what you were saying, that's definitely a part. But I bet you if we would have read Clash of Kings right after whenever Arya's running around with like Beric and stuff, right? Like the first time Arya meets the Brotherhood Without Banners, right? If we would have read that book and not had any of the next ones, I bet you would have said like, why are we meeting all these guys? Like maybe this is just like an Arya learning how to survive in the wilderness. But as we get more books and these names keep getting dropped, like that chapter becomes more important retroactively, right? Because it's our introduction to a bunch of characters who become important. It's hard to tell if any of these characters are going to become important because again, we don't know too much further of what's going on in some of these places.
Yeah, I don't know. We got to be getting to the end of this thing, right? Like
we talk about this every time.
The new characters can't mean a whole lot.
I'm not saying all of them. Definitely not all of them. There's too many of them, but definitely a few.
Right. So like I can't be, and Kyle too. It can't be on us to remember every fucking name that's been brought up in this book because we never will. So like, stop it.
Well, that's what I was saying to Nell when he said they could become important. I said to you, I don't know if it's going to stay in the final edit, but to you, because you're going to fucking remember these people. I'm going to forget who they are when that next book comes out. So it doesn't matter. So yeah, exactly. That's what I meant. But yeah, exactly.
Did you guys ever play Sporkle?
What was it? Sporkle?
Yes.
Sporkle.
Yeah. There's probably some great Sporkle Game of Thrones ones out there.
So in high school, we did a Sporkle where we tried to name every character that was mentioned in the Harry Potter books, which is obviously a lot less like names in this. Like, can you imagine like every name mentioned, even if it was mentioned one time, was on that Sporkle? So like you'd have to remember Bria and Talia and Bella Grome Orthers, right? Like all those names. It's crazy. There's got to be 5,000.
I think Game of Thrones total has 6,000, or Song of Ice and Fire 6,000 total. I think maybe more than that.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's unbelievable, unreal. All right, are we jumping in timeline? Did you want to say something else? I kind of cut you off.
We're good. Let's
go. All right, so Kat wakes up with Brusco's daughters, Bria and Talia, and early morning. Sun's not up yet. They gotta get on the boat, get ready to get to the fish market.
Yep. We just kind of learn a little bit about the daughters here. Bria's the bigger one, sleepyhead. Talia is like a little frail and like hides under the covers, makes Kat get her clothes and gets dressed under the covers. And then, they do. Seems like they do the same thing every morning. They go, they get out, help the dad, help Brusco.
Groundhog Day in the Brusco household.
His sons are pulling the boat. They hop in the boat, go down to the market. She thinks about the weather.
Yep. Actually, a nice day.
Yeah, today is, but there's normally only three kinds: fog, rain, and freezing rain. But yeah, today the dawn broke pink and blue, and they were the days that she liked best.
Yep. So they get to this long canal.
It's on the map.
It is on the map. I don't know when you want to pull in your map now.
So yeah, we're not going to pull it up, and we're not going to talk about it every time. But I'll probably say something like it's on the map.
Yep.
Every time we talk about a place that in this chapter, the map that I'll probably just flash it up for a few seconds every time we say it. There's a lot of cool. I think it's cool to see all the places that she mentions. It's going to be on you guys to find exactly where on the map. I thought as I was going through and highlighting, I thought like, I'll highlight like 6 places, and then it'll help people find. We basically highlighted everything on the map. So I don't know how much it even helps at this point, but
I think if I had to do one criticism of your map, you could have color coded where she actually was in this chapter versus places that were just mentioned.
Yeah, I was thinking of trying how to color code it, just color code like the first half and the second half that way. But yeah, that would have been a good way. I wasn't quite thinking that I would need to color code it till I was already like halfway through taking notes. So
yeah, I ain't holding it against her though. But at the end of the long canal is where the fish market is, and on the way she thinks of her last dream that she had.
Yes.
She just can't drop them, right?
Yeah,
She's continued to have these wolf dreams, even though she's trying to kind of drop that Arya Stark persona. The sisters have even been like, you growl in your sleep.
Dude, growl and thrashing around. They sleep in the same bed. Her and her sisters sleep in the same bed. She's like punching them in the face and shit. And, and they're like, what the fuck is wrong with this girl that they say?
Wild one.
Like,
I mean, it could just be like the Jimmy legs almost, right? Where you're just moving a little bit. I don't know that she is like punching them in the head and causing damage.
I don't know. The quote was like thrashing.
I think thrashing is a little bit more violent.
Pretty violent.
Fair enough.
Like you rolled over in your sleep. No, like.
But
Crazy.
any movement in your sleep is kind of weird. Like, I'm a sleepwalker and a sleep talker, and I think anytime I do anything, it's probably pretty fucking weird.
Well, and she wakes up howling. Like, you know, some people you wake up like the clown has no penis, right? Like you wake up and like say some weird shit like as you're waking up from like your dream. She's waking up like, oh, like imagine like they sent you some person like, hey, we got like a foster child for like a month or whatever, right?
Yeah, pretty strange.
And she's thrashing in her sleep and waking up howling like, what the fuck? Can we get a new one? Our foster girl's broken.
They don't seem to be worried about her at all.
Yeah, you're right.
So I don't know. I think you're giving them some feelings.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you're right. They don't seem like it. My point is, I would be.
I mean,
It's
I
weird.
don't know. Just weird shit happens when you sleep. I guess some people do weird shit in their sleep.
Yeah, I think I'm with Kyle on this one. Like, they might think it's weird as fuck, but it's not like they're like, all right, you can't sleep with us. Like, you're
Sure.
fucking
Gotta go.
that weird.
Yeah, but yeah, it's kind of weird though.
Yeah. Anything else on this part?
She had another dream. It wasn't just the wolf dream. She had another dream where she had 2 legs.
Those were the worst ones.
It was the hound at the red wedding, right? Is really what it is. It's being stuck outside the red wedding, hearing her mom screaming, dying, and being unable to do anything because the hound is holding you back.
Yeah, I think it's weird. Like, I mean, people have like traumatic dreams. She says like every time it was the 2 legs, it was this one though. Like, Arya's seen some shit. Why is this really the worst thing she's seen? Like, she was there when Ned's head got cut off. Like, why?
I think this is probably the worst thing.
This
seems way
recent,
more traumatic.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then like some of the shit she saw the tickler do, even though that wasn't like a relative, still that's like, I don't know.
I think it's because she was trying to act on this one, right? Like, she
Yeah.
really didn't have any
She felt
choice with
helpless.
Ned. Like, she was whatever she would have done. It probably wouldn't have worked, but like, she thinks that she could have done something.
Yeah. And I don't know why, but that reminded me of actually the point that I wanted to say at the beginning that I forgot. One thing I kind of like about this chapter on the reread, Arya just has like a normal, take the last 2 pages off. Arya just has like a normal life, right? She's like just like a normal girl, right? Maybe not a normal girl, but like
She's pretending to be a normal girl.
every chapter we've had of Arya, maybe some of the early ones in Game of Thrones, she's like a normal highborn girl. But ever since she runs away from the Red Keep, she's like a gutter rat. Then she's on the run. Then
adult.
she's a captive in a torture dungeon, captured by a hostage,
Sure.
a hostage by a single
Yeah.
like crazy guy. Like, she's just been in like crazy situations. She's literally just like chilling. She has friends. She
Instantly thrust into trauma.
She's chilling, but in training of an assassin. Like,
yeah. Forget about the last 2 pages. She's just like rubbing elbows with all her friends. All chapter.
but again, it's all a facade, is what I'm saying. Like, she's acting normal.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it doesn't. You'd think like some people, especially people like Arya, who've been through what Arya was like, might just be like, you know what? Why don't I quit the House of Black and White and ask
sell
Briscoe if I
clams
can
and
just stay
cockles?
here? Yeah.
I
If you're
mean-
Arya and you've gone through all the shit, why not just be like, you know what? Fuck the House of Black and White. This is a great life. I'm not.
Because I don't
going
think
back
it is
there.
a great life.
It's
She's
not,
literally
yeah.
she's pushing a wheelbarrow around a city every day.
Okay, and then when she's not in the city, she's cleaning dead bodies. I'll take the wheelbarrow.
Well, I'm not saying that life is any better, but
That's what she. My point is, why
I
not
mean-
leave that for this? This is good. If you can just keep this thing going.
yeah, but I think she could get on a boat and be a fisherman. She could be a sailor. She could do a lot of different things. She doesn't have to settle for pushing
Yeah.
a wheelbarrow around.
Well, I kind of agree with you. My point is, like, I think it shows something about Arya that she doesn't even consider leaving. She is all in on like I want to learn how to do whatever the fuck these people do. I don't care
Yeah.
about the normal life, right? Like,
Sure.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and as part of that, like her whole reason for existence is this list, right? And this is the ends or the means to that end.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. She hasn't actually mentioned the list in this chapter, but I think that's a good call. Yeah.
But
Good thought.
every
Yeah.
fucking chapter before, pretty much, not everyone, but you know what I
A
mean. That
lot
was
of
like
them. I'm sure she's mentioned the list.
the
in almost
Hound,
everyone.
Cersei,
Yeah.
Joffrey. Like that was drilled into her. She was drilling that into her own head prior to this, I guess.
Yep, for sure. So just some more places they name drop on the way to the fish market. They're on the long canal, big fat canal going down. All these are highlighted. Palace of Truth, they pass that. And then the tall square towers of the Prestanes and Antarions. They go under the great arches of the Sweetwater River, which again is that like aqueduct. And then they pass the districts known as Silky Town to where there are less grand buildings. That's basically all the stuff in the bottom right. Yeah, and then they're at the fish market. Fish market's
Yep.
popping.
Briscoe checks out the catch of the day. He's I wouldn't call him cheap, but he wants to make sure he's buying some good product.
He's a fucking fishmonger, right? Like he's
Yeah.
going there first thing. He's trying to be the first one there to get the best choice. So he thinks highly of himself, but then he makes his kids do all his work.
They do. Yeah. She says it's something like he has a bad back, so he can't lift anything more than a tankard of ale.
It happened. We've all been there.
And a cane. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I didn't do it for long, but I had to work landscaping for like a month when I was in between jobs. And the owner of the landscaping company was like my buddy's dad, and he would like show up, be drinking Miller Lite when it's like 110 degrees out, and we're like throwing mulch, and he's just like sitting there like, "Oh, good work, boys."
That's a shitty boss. I'm sorry.
Nah, he earned it. He was throwing mulch for
Get
a while
fucked.
till
No,
he
get
had it
fucked.
big enough to buy his own employees. He was hooking me
That's
up. I
fucked.
needed a job for a month. He hooked
Nelson
me
was
up.
probably an awful landscaper too.
And then I got the Miller when we were done throwing mulch. I got a Miller Lite,
There you go.
so I'll take it.
That sounds like a punishment.
Yeah,
But that's Brusco. You don't hate on Brusco.
I do hate on Briscoe.
he
guess we
did
do a
hate
little
him, Briscoe. But she was getting physically stronger from carrying on these crates every day. And then as they got back in the boat, she would try to. This is when we learned that she's trying to pick up on things as they go. She's trying to learn some information. And this day, she's hearing Bria and Talia whisper about Bria's boyfriend
Yeah.
meeting her on the roof every night.
Yeah, so on the way back, she's basically reflecting the whole time on what the deal is, what her situation is ever since the last Arya chapter. The one thing I will say is I think in the last Arya chapter, they say something about like the Titan sounds its horn every hour, and we were like, that sucks if you're trying to sleep. Here they do say it sounds the horn to like wake everybody up, so it seems like they probably stop it at sundown. Like they start at sun up and stop at sundown.
Like that was the first horn of the day.
Yeah, it's kind of implied in what they say here, so just kind of pointing that out because we did talk about that last time. So yeah, makes sense.
It does make sense.
Yeah. So what's the deal, Kyle? What's her deal?
What's her assignment?
We kind of alluded to some of it, and I think this is kind of stupid.
No, I don't think so. And this is kind of what I was saying before, right? Like this is the selfless. This whole place, the black and white or whatever the whatever you want to call that, the church or whatever.
Yeah, House of Black and White. Yep.
Yeah. They it's so fucking vague and obscure. Everything that dude is saying to her, right? Like he has never been upfront. That's like part of this whole initiation, I think. It's like finding yourself and understanding and learning on your own and showing that you can kind of learn that stuff on your own.
Part of what you said makes me think that's totally wrong.
Okay, go ahead.
You said something like finding who you are. It's all about losing who you are,
Well, yeah, that's more what I meant.
right?
Yeah.
And not everything you said was along those lines. I'm just kind of pointing.
No,
it
I think
out.
that's a fair thing. Yeah. So like I said,
I think you're almost. I kind of agree with you. Like one of my favorite games is called Outer Wilds, and the way it kind of starts is you can do anything, and literally like you get like the thing that lets you off the first planet, and the character doesn't tell you, hey, go here. It's a good place to start. He's like, what do you want to do? And it gives you like 20 options. Doesn't matter what you pick. It's just a dialogue option. But I watched a documentary on the game, and the developer said they did that on purpose to make the characters think of like, oh, what could I do? Like, what are my options? I think by giving her the go out and learn 3 things, you're saying go learn what Arya would learn. Do what you want to do. When really you should be saying, no, here's what no one would do, right?
I don't even think it's that. Like, because every time he does kind of tell her, I mean, he even does that. He's like, well, Arya would have learned that or whatever, right? Like, so I mean, I think that does kind of happen, and it's organically. I don't think we're seeing maybe all of his lessons to her and all those statements to her, but I think at the same time, it's kind of like, go out, find some secrets, like, and she's probably mentally like, is this secret important enough to tell them? You know what I'm saying? Like, and like that's part of this process to me, at least.
The other problem I have is he says find 3. She thinks
of
of 3.
finding yourself. I mean, like finding it out for yourself is more what I meant by that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
He says find 3. She thinks of 3 today. Like she thinks with the one thing that Jeff said, oh, Brea snakes up on the roof to meet a boy. That's going to be one of the things I tell him. That is not one of the things she tells him. She thinks of 3 other things that she learned all today. Like she's gone for 25 days of the month and she's supposed to come back with 3 things. Like how about 100 things or 40 things?
See, I thought she came back every night.
No, when the moon is black, that's when it's a new moon. That's how I read that. So every like once a
me
month.
too.
Couple nights a month.
Yeah, well, I thought those
Well, that
were
was earlier. You said she doesn't get a day office.
So I thought those were the nights that she just had to stay and come inside and actually serve. I thought she still reported back every night.
Okay.
I don't think so, because when she shows up with Brusco at the end, she puts the coin and the boots on his table, and she's like, "Hey, tonight the moon's black," and he's like, "Well, you better go pray then." And she's like,
That's
okay.
what I'm saying. So like
every other night you would be here anyway.
So she's still coming back and reporting 3 things every night, but on the nights that it's a black moon, she stays and prays and cleans bodies and whatnot.
Okay, maybe. I didn't take it that way, but maybe.
That's how I took it. Whether I don't think it matters.
Well,
I think it.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think it does a little bit because she says like lots of things here, and so that would either imply days or lots of months.
Yeah, I think this is a big timeline implication too.
Okay, well then I'll say I think it's days because she started like I learned a new Bravosi word, right?
Yeah.
Like she starts out pretty small, and now I think she's
Sailor's Tales, wars, reigns.
Yeah, Kyle, a little bit before that though, I think something that says that it is only once a month is she's like, I need 3 new things, and last night the moon was a sliver, so I know I need to get them all today. She says something like that.
That might be later.
No, I think she's like she knew Brea going on the roof was 1. It's whenever that is. She's like, I needed 2 more. Because tonight
she didn't even say that yet. So like she said,
Okay.
Kat knew that they were talking about Brea's boy, the one she climbed up to the roof to meet after her father was asleep. Learn 3 new things before you come back to us, the kindly man had commanded Kat when he sent her forth into the city. She always did. Sometimes it was no more than 3 new words of Bravosi tongue. Sometimes sailor's tales, wild happenings, way out where, wars, reigns of toads, dragons hatching, 3 new japes, 3 new riddles, tricks of this trade or the other. Like she has told him a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So I think this does feed into what Jeff's saying. Like every night I need 3 things. And like this kind of also fits in, right? Like where it's like, sure, they're not all going to be like the high end secret, but like you're going to learn to use this information. And like by her, concentrating and thinking about like regurgitating it to student stuff, she is learning, right? Like that is all part of this.
I did find a quote that I think goes against it though.
Go for it. Yeah. Perfect.
Kat would always find the kindly man waiting for her when she went creeping back to the temple on the knoll on the night the moon went black.
Yeah. Yeah. And there is
maybe
something
that was
about her
just the
saying
night. I
last
don't know,
night.
yeah.
There is somewhere where she says last night it was a sliver, so I know I need to get like 3 things today. Again, I don't know exactly.
You're right.
It's something along those lines, which implies that like I don't need to get 3 things every day.
Well, and here's the other weird thing. So she did 3 days of every 30. So that's like 3 new moons every month is what she's saying?
Well, yeah, the new
How many are there in a month? Go ahead.
The moon would be black tonight, she knew. Last night it had been no more than a sliver. What do you know that you did not know when you left us? The kindly man would ask as soon as he saw her.
Yeah.
I know that Brusco's daughter, she thought. That was only 1 thing, though. Kat would need 2 more. She was not concerned. There were always new things to learn down by the ships.
Yeah. So don't you think that implies a little bit that it's only... And I think the 3 nights out of 30 is just like... you do get a new moon for about 3 nights in a row. You get a sliver, then have a new moon for 3 nights. So, yeah. Then a sliver on the other side.
So maybe it's those 3 nights in a row is adding up to less months because there's 3 nights in a row she has to have 3 things.
Maybe, but that's basically saying you need 9 things though, and you just say 3 things on a different day because she doesn't leave the house of black and white on. It seems like she doesn't leave. She goes back and prays and does her duties and cleans bodies on those days.
Okay.
I don't know. There's a lot of question marks around this.
Yeah.
So I think either she's here for like 6-ish months, which I don't think is crazy.
I think it's too old.
It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. Like,
what is, again, it goes back to the point, like, why does she need to be Brusco's daughter for 6 months selling clams, cockles, and...
But think about these relationships. Like, how much she knows about the city now. Like, you don't get that in a couple weeks.
Did it take 6 months to do that?
No, but like 2 or 3, I would think, at least.
So why did you get 6?
Well, because when she goes through how many, like, the 3 things, she's like 3 words of Bravosi. Sometimes it was just 3 new tales. Sometimes it was 3 new jokes. Sometimes it was 3 new riddles. Sometimes it was tricks of the trade or the other. Sometimes she would learn some secrets.
Yeah, I don't know. I tend to lean that she reports back more.
I'm not saying that she's actually giving each of those as examples because she does give straight up examples later. She's like, I think one time she said she knew that blind Becco, what he puts in his hot sauce for his oysters. She knew that the mummers at the Blue Lantern planned to perform the Lord of Woeful Countenance and the mummers at the ship planned to perform the 7 Drunken Oarsmen. And we find out later when she talks to the mummers from the ship, they are performing this now. So this makes me think this is these are the things she told last time. And the third thing is she knows that the bookseller Lotho Lornell sleeps at the house of Mordio Prestane, who's a tradesman captain whenever he's gone. Basically, probably sleeping with his wife.
Do we know that? I feel like we knew that. That felt like knowledge that we had.
All these names were new in my notes.
Okay, that's weird. Yeah, maybe it was somebody else that was doing it. Maybe it was
we've heard of people
somebody down in
wives.
Dorne
I think there was
doing that.
I think you're right. There was a Dorne thing. Yeah.
All right. Well, I do think it's interesting of like her trying to make the sense of what she's bringing to them too, like what is important.
Yeah.
And how can you use it.
Yeah. No. Like I said, I mean, it's sometimes given just a little bit of things like then she's gonna fight. Like, is this important or not? Like, I mean, then you're ranking 3 things all week, and
she
I
just
mean,
picked the most recent ones though.
I know she seems like picking little kid shit, but I think at the same time, like that would like is this good enough to be on my list of 3? Like, wouldn't that be something that was going through your head? I guess what I'm saying, right? Like, if you only have 3 spots, they better be 3 really good secrets.
Yeah, but we see what she does. That's not what she does. She just goes with a recency bias and takes the most. But
then he sends her right back to Brusco. So maybe if she comes back and tells him only good things and actually proves that she's learned the lesson at some point, something else will happen.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
I don't know.
I completely agree with Kyle.
Oh, like, this is a test that she just hasn't passed yet.
She just hasn't figured out what the kindly man wants to hear.
Okay.
Like once she brings him something he wants to hear, it's like, all right, cool. You don't have to be Brusco's daughter anymore. You can move on to phase 2 type of thing.
Yeah, I could see that. I think something Kyle said earlier also could just make sense, where it's like whatever. There's a lesson in this. Like the way it's not about the 3 things really. It's about the way it's making her think while she's out there. That's more that they care more about. I think that's a possibility too that I'd never really considered.
It's like Sirio was telling her, right? Like, see with your like, pay full attention to everything, and then like you're getting access to all this stuff. Pay attention.
Yep.
So
yeah, I agree. All right, so Bravos, pretty cool city. There's a couple things. It was a city of refugees from Targaryens.
Yeah, can you read that quote, Kyle?
Bravos was a city made for secrets, a city of fogs and masks and whispers. Its very existence had been a secret for a century, the girl had learned. Its location had been hidden thrice that long. The 9 free cities are the daughters of Valeria that was, the kindly man taught her. But Bravos is the bastard child who ran away from home. We are mongrel folk, the son of slaves and whores and thieves. Our forebears came from 100 lands to this place of refuge to escape the dragon lords who had enslaved them. 100 gods came with them, but there is one God all of them shared in common. All mankind belongs to him. Else somewhere in the world would a folk who have lived forever. Do you know of any folk who live forever?
No. All men must die. So what do you think about this, Kyle?
I guess, like, do I know any men that live forever? No, I don't know any. I don't think. Well, actually, that's not true. Barrack seems to have lived forever.
He
doesn't seem like he's enjoying it, though. Let's be real.
This is actually something that fans, like, I'm sure there's a 2-hour episode about, or a 2-hour podcast or something about what would the House of Black and White think of Barrack. Okay. Or like Zombie Cat is like a different,
or even Thoros, the dude that's bringing him back, right? Like, spitting in the face of the god of many faces.
And there's red priests here in Bravos because they have like all the religions. One of the red priests is one of the ones that does the marriages for the sailor's wife. But so that's definitely an interesting thought that people have speculated.
Well, they don't know that. I don't know if they know that red priest is bringing back people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know that they've all done the Thoros stick.
He's just a red priest.
But also like the others.
Yeah, true.
That's not quite live forever, but then you have what's dead may never die.
And this guy might not know though, like, about the others is the other thing too. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I think I guess what I'm hinting at is if it became very well widespread and it became like a global problem, these guys might be all against it for like a religious reason, not for like,
got you.
I mean, you think most
sparrows
people would be against it. Yeah. Yep.
All right, so they get back and they break out the cell. Kat is going to Ragman's Harbor, where the non-Bravosi poorer people are.
Yep.
She does prefer it there. She mentions that she has spent time at the other ones.
Yep, a little bit. The other ones are Purple Harbor. That's where the Bravosi go. Again, these are all on the map. Purple Harbor's on the top, Ragman's on the left, and where Talia goes is to the Moon Pool, which is in the top right. It's actually... Ari mentions it later too. It actually probably is a cool ass spot. It's where the Sweetwater River empties into this like fountain in front of the Sea Lord's palace. So she sells there.
It's kind of close to the Purple Harbor though. It's not like
it's kind of close. Yeah, but they got to be selling to like the fucking rich people. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, which is all part of this, right? That's all part of her training.
Nobody's selling down at Silky Town. Fucked up.
Probably not.
I don't know. I bet she is.
Not what they mentioned. The other place that Talia sells is the Isle of the Gods, which is in this little center spot with all these gods. That's not the Isle of the Gods. That's one. There's one specific island, the one right above the House of Black and White. But those are the two that Talia sells at. Yep. Arya most days goes to Ragman's, where it just seems like a great time. Ragman's is everyone, walks of all life, people from
She's
all over.
She's out there cursing around, using the trader's language, calling people
camel cunts,
and you smell like it. It's
and
great.
An ass is
awesome.
pisser. Looked it up. Game of Thrones word. Basically, it just
dick?
means a bull's dick. Yep.
Ah, nice.
Animal's dick, normally a bull's dick, I guess. But yeah, and so your ass is pizzer, donkey dick.
Ha.
Isn't that a thing? Aren't pizzle sticks or something? Isn't that a dog treat?
I mean, ass is pizzer. That insult is kind of funny, but it actually kind of, I think it sounds funnier in modern terms. Donkey dick is funnier than
bully sticks,
ass is
pizzle
pizzer.
sticks. That's a dog treat. It's a penis. Yeah.
Yeah, and giving the fig, I think, is a real thing in like some place it's not America, so I don't know. They're all the same to me.
What'd you say?
I'm just kidding.
Gaming the fig?
I think it's somewhere in like Greece or the Mediterranean Sea. The giving the fig is like it's like giving the middle
fig,
finger,
okay.
but it's like an actual thing in real life from
about
like
it?
Greece or something. Mediterranean.
Is it a
area.
fist or something, or is it an actual finger?
I
thought
think
you-
it's like it
for a second, I
involves a
thought you
thumb
meant
and
Grease
two.
the
It's
musical.
like more complicated. There's multiple fingers involved.
It's the Eminem and 8 Mile. All right. She also has learned how to use a finger knife, taught to her by Red Rago, who is training cut purses, it would seem.
That's what she learned from him, right?
She's getting some lessons.
Well,
Yeah.
and it's in that line. It's kind of funny. We know what this means on a second read. He's like, Red Rago had taught her one day at the Happy Port while he was waiting for Lana to come free.
He's waiting for a prostitute.
This is kind of also gross when you know that Lana's 14.
Yeah. I mean,
It's not
We've
the
said
first,
that
it's
every
not the
time,
first
I
time
think.
in this book. Wasn't
That's what I'm saying.
Ali Yaya like 14 too? Or
It might have been
she
her
was pretty
daughter or
young.
something,
I don't think
yeah.
quite that young, but yeah. But,
you
and
know,
yeah, Ari would say, I never saw a camel, but I know camels come when I see one. That was
yeah, it's a great. line.
smell one. When I smell one, it's the
Smell
best.
one.
It's
Yeah,
even
that's a
better.
line. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I never saw one, but
she's been making a lot of friends along the way, and they've been all teaching her a little bit of things, and they tell her things, which she's taken. The last one I thought was cool is that the dude, she caught the sleight of hand trick by the guy with the mouse, right?
Yeah.
Just a cool little.
She's like, well, she's learning sleight of hand from the guy that either isn't that good or Arya has gained a keen eye.
Yeah. I think
I'm hoping that's more
how
what
I took
this-
it.
yeah.
I took it as she was learning to see with her eyes,
Pay
right?
attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because his name is Cosmo the Conjurer. I mean, but that could be a self-given name, so maybe he's not actually that good. But yeah, just real quick, the list of what she learns. Galiero Dotheri taught her filthy songs. Gylenio Dotheri showed her the best place to catch eels. The mummers from the ship. So this is kind of interesting. I think it's kind of hard to understand. This is a cool one if you look at the map. If you look at the map at the Ragman's Harbor, there's like one ship you can see in the bay. It seems like this is like a ship that's like
It's permanently
probably
docked.
screwed in or something. Yeah, permanently docked, and it's like a theater house. Like these mummers put on shows here.
Yeah, that's how I took reading it too. Especially
Yeah.
later on when I think the two are fighting, right? Like they.
Yeah, and it's right across from the mummers or from the Happy Port. So it's right across from the brothel. So what she says here is the mummers from the ship showed her how a hero stands, which was that I don't even know what the fuck. How is that something you have to
Captain
learn?
Morgan.
Captain Morgan. That's probably yes, exactly. Captain Morgan. And they taught her speeches from I guess a bunch of places. The Song of the Roin, The Conqueror's Two Wives, and The Merchant's Lusty Lady. So I don't have anything to say about the last one, but the first one, The Song of the Roin. Kyle, speculation. What could this play be about?
The Roin and the Rain. I forget what all. Is that the Trident stuff?
The
Kind of close, Jeff. What could this be about?
Rhine was the river in Dorne, right?
It was the river,
Okay.
big river in Essos where Nymeria had originally lived. And then the dragons started attacking, and they left the Roin and came.
That was the story that we heard
Okay.
in Dorne, though, right?
Yeah, we heard it in Dorne because exactly Nymeria
Yeah.
took her 1,000 ships and they left and went to Dorne, and now
Okay.
they had the
Yeah,
green
yeah.
blood,
Okay.
right? So the orphans of the green blood because of the orphans of Mother Roin. So this is probably something about that story.
The exodus of her. Okay.
Yeah.
Or
Next
the
one is the
people.
Conqueror's Two Wives,
Aegon.
Aegon and
And his two wives.
what's special about his two wives?
Weren't they both his
His
sisters?
sisters.
They're also his sisters. Yay! Yep. And the Merchant Leslie Lady. Who the fuck knows? Quill, the sad-eyed little man.
Well, that could be the sailor captain's. No, probably not. It's probably not the sailor. The guy that we heard
lady,
about,
yeah.
Lothar sleeping with that guy's wife. Yeah, but probably not. I doubt that
Oh,
play would be going.
Maybe. Maybe there's a play about this guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he has
Maybe
no
that's
idea.
where Arya learned it. That's interesting.
Well, I think here this is also before we move too far. Like this is also all lessons she's learning and not telling this guy, right? Like the kindly man. So like this
Yeah.
is more.
She
Like
knows these
this is
aren't
more
important.
training. Yeah. Not even that though. It's like this is more training that she's getting by just him saying go out in the city and be out in the city, right? So
Yeah.
like I think this is all just building the case that like she is training and this is valuable stuff is all I'm saying. So anyway, continue.
Maybe this is me digging too deep on your point that didn't need to go that's deep. But if we're going there, the Song of the Rhoyne, that's about, who did I say? Nymeria led her 1,000 ships.
Yeah.
Does Arya like Nymeria? Would we have any idea about
obviously,
that?
that's her wolf, yeah.
She named her wolf after it. And then the Conqueror's 2 wives, I don't know if I think we probably have heard this once or twice. Arya was a big fan of Visenya, who was kind of like the warrior.
Who was the warrior? What? Yeah, she definitely mentioned it.
So these two at least are things that like Arya would relate to. So like you're saying, go out and be yourself. If they're trying to tell her to be no one,
I don't mean to be yourself. I mean like buy yourself. I'm sorry if I'm like misspeaking
I know
on that,
but
yeah.
I'm not going to tell you what to go learn. You go figure it out yourself without asking for help. Thing. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Quill, who is a mummer on the ship with the sad eye, who seems like to be the one that makes up what they do, like makes up the place, offered to show her how a woman kisses, but Taganaro hit him with a codfish and put an end to that. We do see Taganaro later. He's the guy who has the seal.
Get fucking fish slapped.
Yeah, fish slapped. And he has a fish, obviously, because he probably feeds the fishes to his seal, Kako, the king of seals, or whatever. That's this guy.
I mean, they probably eat fish too, right? Like they're in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, that's true.
These people eat fish
and oysters and clams and cockles.
Yeah,
Which are Arya's magic words. I know Jeff was.
Oysters, clams, and cockles.
Let me make a guess about your read through this chapter. You were reading, and Arya got to the first time she shouted something about what she was selling, and it wasn't oysters, clams, and cockles. It's something like mussels, prawns, and crayfish or something like that. And you're like, wait a minute.
That's not it.
I bet you in your head, you're like, she better fucking say it, right?
Yeah.
Did you think that?
I've definitely thought that.
You definitely thought that.
When I read it, I read it in her oysters, clams, and cockles.
Yeah. In the show, that's all she ever yells,
yeah.
and it's kind of like it just sticks in your head.
Mussels and cockles and clams.
Yeah, she says like all kinds of different things.
That's the
oysters,
first
clams,
one,
and cockles is like the one she says are her magic words, though.
Cockle's not even a real thing.
It has to be. It's got to be just another clam, basically.
Never heard of a cockle. There's never cockles.
I don't know the difference between
menu.
any of these things she's selling, though. To be fair,
I've heard of everything else but a cockle.
They're all just like eating
Bivalves.
Gross.
Yeah.
You can keep them.
It's definitely not true.
You like these things? You probably eat clams and spaghetti.
I like oysters and clams. I don't know what cockles are.
Cockles are small, edible, heart-shaped bivalve mollusks belonging to the clam family.
No one knows what that means.
What? You don't know what bivalve means? Get the fuck out of here. 2 shells. 2 shells, bivalve.
Grow up, Nelson.
Just say, why don't you just say 2 shells then?
Because we're science. This is scientific.
Scallops
Some
are dope.
pretentious douchebag wanted to make himself sound smarter than everybody else and made up new words for words.
Prawns or shrimp. Shrimp's dope. Oh, I like pretty much every seafood. I don't think
What
there's
a dumb take.
I don't like.
Sorry, can we stop and make fun of Nelson's dumbass take?
There's just too many times at work when I'm in a meeting where there's like newer hires and like older heads, and the older heads I feel like are using big words just to make themselves sound smart at like the cost of clear communication. So I don't, you know what I mean? Like when you can just say 2 shells, why would you say bivalve douchebag, whatever you were saying?
Because it means it's like 2 shells that are connected probably at one point that open and close on themselves. It probably means more than just 2 shells. I just fucking dumbed it down for your ass.
Shut up.
Yeah.
So
Moving on.
Are you done the list of what she's learned? Can we move on?
Yeah, we're done the list of lessons.
All right, but she does have the magic words herself. She's pretty good at her job, right? She gets her shit unloaded.
It gets her in all kinds of places. Checky Port, Drowntown, Purple Harbor, Moonpool. The Purple Harbor, Moonpool we already talked about. Checky Port and Drowntown, they're on the map. Moving on.
Cats would follow her sometimes, and every now and again she would throw a little scallop back and be like, "All right, let's see who comes out with it." And most of the time, it'd be the little cat, hungrier, a little angrier
cat
guy. Yeah.
Well, it was just the one that like kind of snuck under the radar, got in there, probably pieced out while the big ones were too slow to get
Found a little sliver and took it.
And it's the hungry ones.
Yoink. Yeah,
like,
true.
You got to be hungry.
Yeah, and it reminded her of the one in King's Landing.
Yep.
That she used to chase, but then it was like, shit, I shouldn't be thinking about that. But a couple of new Westerosi ships rolled in. Some men wanted women right away. They had a little conversation. Be like, all right, like where are the girls at? Where can we go? and she sends
where's
them
the
on
entertainment?
their way.
She sends them all those other places, and they're like, no, we were talking about horse. And there's a young one who's like, what about the courtesans?
Yeah, little ginger.
Are we there yet? You're jumping ahead on me, huh?
No.
She sees 5 new ships.
Yeah.
Again, I don't need to know every 5 ships. I know that Westerosi ships came in and then they wanted women.
Brazen Monkey.
That's the only one she names, and we talk to the people off that ship later. I think that's where Jeff was jumping a little bit ahead too, but not that much. The only thing she sees is there's a ship from Volantis that says we got attacked by Salador Sand.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah,
At the
true.
Stepstones, which is like in the south of Westeros. What's our boy
So
doing?
he
Like,
was. I was gonna say he was up there, right? Up at Stannis, up in the north.
yeah, well, exactly. We haven't seen what's going on.
Maybe there's another
for a while.
Salador Sand, or he's not the only Sand.
No, they say Old Mother, Son, and Valyrian, which are Salador
Okay.
Sand ships. So unless there's another
Gotcha.
Salador Sand, with
Do
the
we
same
know that
ships.
Salador Sand took Stannis up to the?
No, no, but
Because we don't.
last we knew, those two were in some type of like friendly relationship.
Sure, but we didn't know of the voyage that got Stannis up north.
That's true. Maybe he didn't.
Well,
yeah, I guess
He
that's my
didn't
point.
need. It didn't need to be Salador Sand that took him. Is kind of what I'm saying. Like I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not inferring that they're not still in partnership or they are. But
yeah, I know. Yeah, I think the whole point of, well, I don't know. I think why this is cool is because it shines a light on the fact that we haven't seen what the fuck's going on with a certain part of this world in a while.
yeah.
That
Well,
we'll
yeah.
get to in the
And
next
here's
book.
my speculation on it. If you want, maybe he heard about the Iron Islands and is doing not the Iron Islands, the Shield Islands that the Ironborn are taking over. And he's the one that's actually, because he always seemed like he's like, I'm the fucking king. I'm supposed to be doing something.
That's why he should have been north. I'm supposed to be protecting the realm. I'm gonna go protect the
Yeah.
Shield Islands. That's interesting.
I like that.
Stannis
And how do
secretly
you get
wins over
your-
the Tyrells. Just that really, that'd be cool. I like it.
How do you get your ships there other than go that way?
Yeah.
And what's a pirate gonna do? Pirate shit.
Pirates will pirate.
So on the way, he's pirating.
Nelson would never have had that unique thought. Okay, good work.
Then we don't know that comes true or not. Shit.
I don't.
Fuck.
Trust me, I don't.
Eh.
And even if I did know, I wouldn't even remember.
All right.
All right, so the little redhead wants the courtesans, which we find out are the really top of the line, heavily wanted. Like a lot of them, like don't even fuck around with a normal day's life. Like they're top end escorts, right?
Yes, and she gives like a little list of them. Sirvoin. I don't know. I guess she's just thinking about normal whores here.
Yeah, we skipped a bunch. It's all right though. Drunken daughter.
There was a part where the women were mean, right? So one of them did steal.
Canker Jane was a man. Marilyn.
They asked for whores, and at first Arya, so it's kind of interesting. Arya has a relationship with Mary, where Mary buys oysters from Arya. Arya sends basically everyone to Mary. There's got to be a lot of brothels, but she's sending them all to Mary. And then when she shows up, we hear later the sailor's wife at least insists that the people she's with buy oysters. So it's like a win-win for Arya, right? Like she sends people there, and then they're forced to buy oysters from her later. So why not send them there? And then Mary obviously gets the custom. So kind of like a cool relationship there. But yeah, there's this one whore, Sirvoin, who robbed and killed a dozen men. The drunken daughter was sweet when sober, but not when drunk. And she's called the drunken daughter. Again, kind of like, just like George just like puts these like mini jokes all over the place. It's kind of just makes you chuckle if you think about him. Caker Jane's really a man. And then, yeah, Mary always brought the oysters and agreed. Everyone agreed that she had a good heart and the biggest teats. Even she liked to boast about that.
Good combo.
Fuck yeah, right?
And Arya thinks that all of
Sorry.
Mary's whores were nice, but maybe they might not have been the prettiest whores, but they're all nice to her, at least. But Blushing Bethany, the sailor's wife, One-Eyed Yana, even Azadora, the Ibonese woman with the mustache.
Ooh.
There you go. There's our list
Well,
of
and you
whores.
skipped Ina, who could tell your future.
Oh, I said Ina, the one-eyed whore. Yeah, but I said, yeah.
I know, but like,
Good point. That is important. Yeah. She brings that up later a little bit too, yeah.
Yeah, so get into the list of the top of the line courtesans.
Yeah, courtesans. We got the poetess, who always had a book in hand, the moon shadow, who only wore white and silver, and gave Darian a kiss when he was writing a song about her. I don't know if that's in this chapter. That might have been in the Sam chapter. My notes, though. Merlin Queen was never seen without her mermaids, who were just 4 young maidens who were just always with her. The veiled lady, who was beautiful, even though Arya's like, oh, the veiled lady was beautiful, but no one actually saw her face except for people she slept with. And the Black Pearl, who's the most famous of all the courtesans. And Arya actually sold some to this one. She bought 3 cockles and 10 times what they were worth.
Yeah, pretty much dropped 100 hundo piece on 3 clams.
Yeah.
Nice lady.
Yeah, I only have the hot notes. Is that she was a descendant of the Dragon Prince, and she comes from a line of O3s. But I only took down the one name, Belezre, which was used twice. There was a second B name in there.
What are you saying?
The other names of the otheries.
Yeah, this Black Pearl is that the name you have?
Belligeré.
Bellanora.
And Bellanora is the mom.
And then her mom was Belligeré.
Yeah, the middle was Bellanora. Yep.
Are there just 3?
I think we only go 3 generations deep.
I thought there was like one. I think there's a gap. I think we hear about the first ever Black Pearl, and then there's some amount we don't know. Maybe 4, maybe 5, and then we have the most recent 2.
I find the deal.
Well, it's right here on 730. Her true name is Belligeré Otheris. She informed him it was one of the 3 things she had learned. It is, the priest said softly. Her mother was Bellanora, but the first Black Pearl was a Belliger as well.
Oh, okay. So
just because we know about the time, at least I know about the timeline.
The first Belligeré was a while ago.
Yeah, I think it's more like it's probably like 5 generations or 6.
Not grand. She wasn't grandmom. She might have been great
exactly.
grandmom. All right, so we get an update on the war. There's no actual war from where these ships were coming from the Veil. The ones coming from the Veil because Lysa kept them out of it. But now we hear that Lysa's dead.
Only if Little Lord keeps us out of it too.
Little Robin.
Right. That's how they kind of dropped this news to her, and she's like, "Oh fuck!" Yeah. Like she's smart enough, right, to be like, "Oh fuck, Lysa." That means Lysa's no more.
Yeah. My aunt's dead, but I don't actually care. She's not my aunt.
Cat doesn't have an aunt. Yep.
Little Narbo got stabbed in the hand. He can't cut purse right anymore, so he's going to become an oarsman. I think a whore stabbed him in the hand. 3 fingers aren't working.
Drunken daughter put her knife through Little Narbo's hand. Yep.
Yeah. So who's Little Narbo?
He was a cut purse.
A cut purse. It seems like what they got going. So Taganaro is the guy that works with the seal. So that's who she goes up to. She's talking to this guy. He's like, "You should work for me because my assistant, Little Narbo, is gone."
He's head cut purse.
So my take is this guy puts on like seal shows where he's got a seal clapping and talking and shit. And while he has a crowd, Little Narbo's
you walk around and work the crowd,
exactly,
cutting purses.
But now he's putting on a show, but he's got nobody cutting the purses. So he's like,
he needs someone with a knife.
That's why he's trying to get Cat. He's like, "Why don't you come work for me? You'll make more money." He's like, "You won't smell like fish." She's like, "Your seal likes the way I smell." Casso, king of seals, what a boss. He's like, "What's Narbo gonna do now?" And it's funny. He says, "Well, he's gonna be an oarsman. You can pull an oar with 2 fingers, right?"
She recommends him for a job pretty quickly, though.
As one of the drunken oarsmen, which is a part in the play. Right?
He's a mummer. Yeah.
We'll get to it in a sec, but yeah, it's kind of funny. Like it's like, did Arya misunderstand, or we'll get to it in a sec. They're like, "We're missing 2 oarsmen." She's like, "Oh, Little Narbo wants to be an oarsman." It's like that's clearly not what they mean. Like this is a play they're putting on. You know what I mean? So, but whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the next part, right? She goes to the ship.
Next part.
Yeah.
So you're saying they were looking for actors, not actual oarsmen?
Yeah, so we get there. They're putting on this. It seems like the mummers are putting on this thing called the 7 Drunken Oarsmen. Whether it's a full-on play or it's like a little stupid skit or some improv, whatever it is, it's some performance called the 7 Drunken Oarsmen. But Joss the Gloom told her that Quentz finally caught Aliquo abed with Soli, and this is one of the things that she does tell the kindly man later. And then they got into a fight, so they left, and they say, "We're only going to be 5 Drunken Oarsmen tonight." Mermello says, "We're going to make up in drunkenness what we'd lack in oarsmen." It's funny, this is the guy that they say does the best weddings later.
Does the best what?
They say sometimes when there's no priest around for the sailor's wife, they get a mummer. This is the guy who
best
does
weddings.
The best ones.
Yeah.
And this is the guy like, "I'm up to the task to get super wasted because we don't have enough performers."
I think she's smart enough to know that mummers are actors, and she was throwing him in to be an actor, not an actual oarsman for the play.
Sure, I just think it's, if she doesn't understand, like if she understands George is doing like just being clever here, right? Like, because they're like, we're down 2 oarsmen. She's like, "Oh, Little Narbo wants to be an oarsman," but like, you know, that's clearly not this. It's very different professions. You know what I mean?
Sure. I
just thought it was like, I don't know. It was kind of, I don't know. I didn't think it was weird. I just kind of like chuckled at it. I was like, "Oh, I see."
Yeah,
like,
but you're chuckling at it.
You're saying she's so naive or something, or
or she's clever.
Oh, okay.
She and George are clever or something.
Yeah, some of it might have also just been like Takwa, whatever his name is. It was like, yeah, I don't think he should be out in the ocean because that shit's kind of scary, right? And this is kind of a compromise. Like, oh, he wants to be an oarsman. Maybe he can play one in your play and stay here and be safe.
That's a good point. Yeah, because we didn't say that. Takanaro
she does say he wants to be an oarsman. I was taking it as like he's looking for a job, like you can have him, but she does say that.
Well, to Kyle's point, Takanaro ends with saying, I told him that's a bad. You don't want to do the sea. The sea's cold and cruel. Just cut your hand off.
Yeah, cut your
instead.
fucking hand off and beg. That's better. Yeah,
Yeah, that's better than being an oarsman. So maybe you're right. And Arya's just being clever and finding a middle ground.
Here's a way to stay as an
saying it in a
oarsman
witty way.
here.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's get to what I think is the meat of the chapter now. Now that we've
Happy
been here
port.
for an hour, we get to Mary, and she's listening to Daron, and he's a pretty good singer. He likes to sing to Lana, the youngest whore, who is the daughter of the sailor's wife.
Yeah, but that's the sailor's wife is who Daron was marrying in the Sam chapter.
In the Sam chapter, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and what happened? Can we explain the Sam pop off again? I forget what it was.
Sam was like, "Yo, Daron, you need to come back. Maester Aemon needs us.
Yeah.
We need your money. Yada yada."
He's like, "Fuck you,
Daron's
no, I'm
like,
staying
"Fuck you,
here."
I'm not going." Sam punches him in the face. They both get thrown out. Sam then gets thrown into the water.
I don't know if Daron
And-
gets thrown out. Sam at least gets thrown out.
Sam gets tossed out. Then he gets thrown in the water. He can't swim. Arya saved him.
No. A Summer Islander saved him.
Oh,
A big Summer Islander.
Some
in a feather
big
cloak.
hand pulled him out, right? Yeah.
Zondo.
but then we hear that Arya saved him.
No. Well, Arya saved him earlier in the chapter. These two guys were like,
okay.
"Yo, you're wearing black. Only
Oh,
rich
yeah,
people
yeah.
in Bravos wear black. What the fuck's up? You want to fucking fight?"
So Arya wasn't there because she does mention that she wishes she was there when he got punched. But I thought she did show
Yeah.
up at the end.
Because she saw him earlier, then he
They
went
saw
on
her
to
in
the
passing.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So he was referred to as the Black Singer, but now that he's made so much money, he's dressed like a peacock. He's got a bunch of different clothes. He's really loving his life. And
Which sucks because like it seems like it's later. Arya does ask him like, "What's up with Sam? What happened with him?" He doesn't give a straight answer. Next chapter stamp, so we'll find out shortly. But
yeah.
um,
She did
It's
at
in-
one point think I wanted to ask him to take her to John.
yeah, to the wall, to John. I think it's just interesting here because she's like, "There's nothing black about him now." She's like, "He's wearing his purple cloak," but she knew he had a crimson cloak with like gold trail. Like she, it seems like he's doing okay for himself. I guess. Is my
He's
point.
wearing like a purple silk one too.
Well, and he showed up with a lot of money too.
Exactly. He could have threw Sam a bone. Like, okay, once you're good, like if you have this much money, Sam needs enough for one ship. It can't be that much. Like you're shooting for the stars, right? He's trying to be on a ship with courtesans.
No, so you're giving a fucking a dude that's very obviously selfish some too much credit to expect him to give Sam some charity.
I guess the thing is, I don't know.
This guy seems garbage, man. What do you expect?
Okay,
Plant
hang
corn,
on.
get corn.
We'll get to it
Bam.
later. Is this guy garbage? We don't know. Let me look up his backstory. How many people get put into the wall for something they didn't do, and they're not a highborn? They didn't choose it. They're there because they got arrested unrightfully.
I don't know.
He saw an out. I'm not saying I would do it. You took a vow. That means something. But it's not John where he signed up for this willingly. We don't know, right? I think, if I remember correctly, Daron was like kind of like hoodwinked into the wall. And now he's got an out. I'm not saying that makes it okay, but when we see it through Arya's perspective only, it's not the whole picture, I guess, is my point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, he's still. I don't know. He's from what we've seen of him and Sam, he seemed pretty shitty.
Yeah, I don't like the way he's treating Sam, but it's one of the things where, like, if you were in his shoes, you might, like, again, I would throw Sam a bone, but maybe I'm not fucking going to Old Town with him. You know what I mean? If I'm kind of making
You're
a
a
killing
nice
in
guy.
Bravos, I don't think I don't think this is the case. But again, yeah, okay. Daron was found in bed with a lord's daughter, and the lord named it rape, not the daughter, and that's how he ended up on the wall. Can you blame the guy for getting falsely accused, ending up on the wall for the rest of his life, or trying to be like, you know what, I got to find kind of a decent out? Again, I don't like the way he treated Sam.
Yeah.
But did he deserve to be murdered?
No.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that later.
Let's move on. All right, let's get there.
Yeah, probably not.
The only thing that he's still wearing is his black boots. All right, so the sailor wife comes up. She's listening in. She makes a compliment to his voice, right? Like, the gods must like him if he can sing that well. And we do find out that she's sad because of her first true husband was lost at sea. So she goes to the gods and prays to all the gods just to, for a fact that maybe he'll get found and brought back to her.
Yep. She hopes that if she prays to the right one, eventually somebody will send her husband back.
One of them will work.
But Yana says, well, I tasted her blood. And her husband's
he's come
dead.
back dead.
We don't
He'll
want
be a
him to come
corpse.
back. He'd come back as a corpse. Yeah.
Yep. So Daron's about to go on a walk to another brothel bar. He's performing at another spot tonight, and because Arya's about to bail back to Brusco's, but Daron hops in the ride with her, the walk with her.
Yeah, they leave together pretty much.
So they go on their walk back. Daron is just bragging about the climb he's going to make. He was just singer, and I'm going to be singing for the courtesans, right?
Yep.
Be the best singer in Bravos.
I'll be playing in the purple and soon the Sea Lord of Bravos' palace. I guess the purple he means the Purple Harbor. I looked on the map. There's
I was guessing
place
the Purple
called
Harbor.
Purple.
Yeah.
If you look at the map, though, here's a problem I have. He's saying he's going to the Inn of the Green Eel. They're going from Happy Port to the Inn of the Green Eel. The cat shouldn't be going with him. If you look where Brusco's is, like she's going back to Brusco's. Brusco's and the Inn of the Green Eel are in opposite directions, right?
Yeah.
So point one onto she's a psychopath.
She might have followed him to kill him. Yeah.
Well, we don't know
We'll
which.
circle back to that later. So,
Yeah.
Jeff, go ahead.
I know. I'm just trying to see like the walkways to see like maybe she had to go. Sometimes you got to go south to go north, right?
Like Brienne's chapter, right?
Jeff doesn't want Aura to be a psychopath so bad.
No,
but-
she could be a psychopath. It's fine.
Like Brienne's
She's literally
chapter,
training
and they're
to
like,
be an assassin. I can live with it.
So yeah,
where that dude's like, "Hey, the cat or the place we're trying to go is behind us, right?" I know what the whole Brienne's chapter is about.
which
When
one?
they're like
Yeah.
Marbrand or whatever, was like taking him out to that
Maribald.
weird island,
Oh, yeah,
Maribald, yeah. To that weird island, and they have to go like
Yeah,
zigzag.
I was like, why the fuck are we
Yeah.
walking backwards?
yeah.
So, I mean, maybe that situation. Maybe some of those roads that you're seeing on the map are fake.
That's what Jeff's trying
They
to
don't- yeah.
riddle out in his face.
Yeah.
And again,
They were one ways. It was a one-way bridge.
Those are
Wheelbarrow
cars
is one
only.
way.
Yeah, there's no sidewalk. You have to. Yeah.
Well, she has a
But
wheelbarrow, so he counts. As a
Either
car.
way, she leads him down a little alleyway, and this is the last we see of Daron.
So I think this is a cool quote, especially on a reread, even for Kyle at this point, right? So he says, "What happened to your brother?" Kat asked. "The fat one. Did he ever find the ship to Old Town? He was supposed to sail on the Lady Eushionora. We all were. Lord Snow's command. I told Sam, leave the old man. But the fat fool would not listen. The last light of the setting sun shone in his hair. Well, it's too late now." Again, who knows what that means? Kind of ambiguous, but just so, Kat said as they stepped into the gloom of the twisty little alley. By the time Kat returned to Brusco's house, like,
Yeah, so,
they step into
yeah,
a
there's-
gloomy alley and it just jumps ahead to Brusco's house. Like, yeah, it's like, okay.
I mean, I didn't read it there, obviously. Like,
You
I didn't get that.
You didn't think like, oh,
No.
she killed Daron.
Yeah, but that's why I said on a reread, you're like,
Yeah.
okay, it's like a gloomy alley.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then-
I did go back to that part
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah. So the part you said was a little ambiguous. Well, it's too late now. To me, that sounds like, well, he's already gone. He already left.
Oh, we all were, but it's too late
It's
now.
too late
for
now.
Me.
That fat.
It's too late for me. If
Well,
Sam
no, he
left,
said,
then
I
what?
told Sam, leave the old man, but the fat fool wouldn't listen. It's too late for him to listen now. He already left with the old man.
Oh, okay, gotcha. The problem in the Sam chapter was he couldn't find a ship because no one would take Aemon. They're like, I'm not going to take a guy who's going to die as soon as he gets on my ship on board. You got to leave the. Sam's like, we need to find a ship, and he's like, you got to leave the old man if you want to find a ship. So
what you're trying to say is maybe the old man's dead
that's what I thought you were saying.
and he left on somewhere else? No, I was
if,
saying
if
that.
it's too late and Sam's left, then like the old that's kind of what I was.
I mean,
what you were
my
saying.
guess is somebody took him, right? If they found a way to get out of here, like they could have found a way to get out of
That's
here.
kind of what it seems like at the end of the Sam chapter 2. The guy who saves him is like, hey, he says something about like, I'm the mate on a ship.
Yeah, I got passage for you. The other thing I wanted to comment here though is like he drops Lord Snow and she doesn't care. That's really weird to me. Like
Yeah, not even a thought.
earlier, she's like, "Oh, that cat reminds me of the cat I used to chase around King's Landing," and then here or whatever, and here she's like, "This dude drops Lord Snow, like
And
the
that he's
Commander
commanding. Lord Snow commanded us to do this.
Yeah, and she doesn't even think about it.
Yeah,
that's
but
interesting.
it's not.
There could
Lord
be another
Stark.
bastard. There could be another
That's
bastard
my,
up there.
exactly. Snow is a bastard name. You think it's
I guess, but to be like, is it John? Right? Like
She could have.
This
thought,
was her favorite
Yeah.
sibling.
I understand. I don't think it's crazy
I
to
do
think that she
agree with
should
Kyle
perk
here.
her eyes up. Yeah, I think you're right.
All right, so she goes to Brusco's right, does her deal. She had a nice little good job, and
Point curse and boots, and he's
Yeah.
like, what's this? She's like, boots. He's like, good boots are hard to find, and he's like, but
These
they're
are
too
good small, though.
too small for me. So she takes them.
yeah. So she gets to the house of black and white, and she
Which I
washes-
was like, who the fuck paid her boots? That was. I know you guys like this kind of part here, and I'm like,
Yeah.
did I miss this in the chapter? Like, where do these fucking boots come from? But yeah, she did mention that he had that was all the black he was still wearing, right? It
The
was his
only
boots.
black
Yeah.
that was left
Yeah.
about him was his boots.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
So she gets back to the house and she washes all of the cat off of her in a lemon bath. She goes to Uma and gets some food, and then she helps the waif A cool little topic here with the waif. Where she's learning here too. Job's not done.
Few little quotes. Kyle, why don't you read the first one? The first poison we got is sweet sleep.
Sweet sleep is the gentlest of poisons. A few grains will slow a pounding heart and stop a hand from shaking, and make a man feel calm and strong. A pinch will grant a night of deep and dreamless sleep. 3 pinches will produce that sleep that does not end. The taste is very sweet, so it is best used in cakes and pies and honeyed wines. Here, you can smell the sweetness. She let her have a whiff, then sent her up the ladders to find a red glass bottle.
Yeah. We'll talk about all of them after we read, I guess. Next one is Tears of Leaf. Jeff, read this one.
This is a crueler poison, but tasteless and odorless, hence easier to hide. The tears of Lys, men call it, dissolved in wine or water. It eats at a man's bowels and belly, and kills the sickness of those parts. Smell. Arya sniffed and smelled nothing.
Okay, and the last one is Basilisk blood. This paste is spiced with basilisk blood. It will give cooked flesh a savory smell, but if eaten, it produces violent madness in beasts as well as men. A mouse will attack a lion after a taste of basilisk blood. Arya chewed her lip. Would it work on dogs? On any animal with warm blood? The wave slapped her. So this continues on
Arya
to getting
chews
scolded
her lips.
for being Arya chewing her lip. But yeah, let's stop and talk about the poisons. Kyle, anything about these poisons? Do we know any of them?
Well, I mean, the lease was the Sansa one, right? Wasn't that what they said was...
I think I agree. I think I know what you're saying, but I don't know what you're
on
talking
her on her hairnet or no?
in
The hairnet. I thought that's what they said Joffrey died from, or am I wrong?
That's the Strangler.
Okay. Well, that's good because this didn't make sense at that point. Yeah. So Tears of Lys, is that the one that they gave Jon Arryn?
Yeah, so that's what I thought you were going with Sansa. I think Lysa in front of Sansa. That's where we learned that. She's like, Littlefinger told me, like, you told me to put the Tears of Lys in Jon's wine, right? Like, and then he pushes her out the moon door. I think that's where we learned that. So yeah, like Tears of Lys was Jon Arryn. Yep. Cooler poison, tasteless, odorless, hence easier to hide. Tears of Lys. And then the other two, Sweet Sleep and Basilisk Blood.
I mean, we've seen a basilisk attack Dany, right?
I think that was a...
Oh, that's a Manticore. That was a Manticore.
Yeah, that was a weird... Yeah, it was a weird, like, mythical thingy.
Well, so is a basilisk.
I think Oberyn, what they say, they think Oberyn used on the mountain
that's
was
fair.
basilisk venom, but it doesn't sound like this. Like, it didn't make the mountain just super violent. The mountain was super violent before. It was a different thing.
I think that was actually a different poison. That, like, poison blood, not made...
Yeah, I think so, too.
Shit, act feral.
Yeah.
Gives him rabies.
Kyle's not going to remember it now, so just give it to him.
Should we? It's not a spoiler, I guess.
I mean, I think it's I think you're.
It's just
assuming...
like it's a cool connection, but yeah, it's not a spoiler. I think we've seen it used one time that we haven't heard of, but yeah, it's gonna be hard to remember. It kind of makes sense if you think of the people. If it's a House of Black and White kill, I'll give you that hint.
He's not gonna. He's not. That was like a year and a half.
The only thing I think of, I guess, is. Oh yeah, I don't know. I was gonna say like the stuff that happened at Salt Pans or something. Maybe
the stuff that happened when Arya got her 3 kills from Jaqen at Harrenhal. One of them was Weiss being killed by his dog.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It was like a really faithful dog. And in hindsight, if Jaqen is related to the House of Black and White, where they know this poison.
That's what hurt for what worked for dogs. Yeah. I was wondering what she was asking about dogs for, because there's no dogs here and all that. So, yeah, that makes sense.
And it's Arya chewed her lip. Would it work on dogs? Smack. Right? So, like, to me, that's very clear. Arya's thinking about something from Arya's past. Right? So, I think that's what she's
I think that makes plenty of sense. I just couldn't remember the incident.
Yeah, I didn't either, guys.
It's probably longer than a year and a half, Jeff, to be honest. Yeah.
And the waif was like, "Are you Arya of House Stark?" And she's like, "No, who the hell are you?" And the waif goes into this story, and Arya's like, "Whoa, I did not expect an answer, but okay." Kind of a weird story. My mother died when I was little. No memory of that. When I was 6, my father got married again, but she was nice to me for a little bit, but then she had her own kid, and then she wanted all my father's wealth to go there. So she should have gone to the many-faced god, but instead she tried to poison me herself, left me as you see me. The healers of the House of the Red Hands told my father what she had done. We have heard the House of the Red Hands. Sam says that when he was looking for a healer for Aemon, he sent to the house. That's where he got one. So it seems like a hospital.
It's the healer House of Black and White.
Yeah,
kind of. Yeah, it's the healing version of this place. Yeah, this is hospice. That's a hospital. Yeah.
It's interesting because in Essos you don't have macers, so somebody gets hurt.
Gotta go somewhere. Someone's gotta kill you.
So I guess it's this. So she had gone there, I guess, because she got poisoned, and then the doctors went and told her dad, and the dad's like, okay. He goes to the House of Black and White, and he's like, I want the new wife gone. It's what it seems like, right?
Yeah.
And he gives her, what she says is he gives all his money and her, and the many-faced god fulfilled it. And she's like, wait, Arya's like, is that true? Is this real?
Some of it.
There is truth in it. And Arya says, and lies as well. And she says, there is an untruth and an exaggeration. Untruth and lie, same thing, right?
Yes.
I actually Googled the subset. Untruth is sometimes an unintentional lie, but everything the waif was just doing was 100% intentional. So she's, it's a lie. She just means lie.
It doesn't mean anything.
So she's saying, yes, there was a lie and an exaggeration. And then Arya says, I know she's like, it was the exaggeration, the fact that he didn't give as much, he only gave 2/3 of his money, not all of it. She's like, yeah, you got me on that one. And she's like, well, what was the lie? And she's like, maybe I lied about the lie.
Yeah.
And then, so
she's
if
good.
that's true,
she's a good player. She's a good player.
If she did lie about the lie, then Arya knows the whole story. If she was telling the truth about the exaggeration being what Arya thought it was, and her lying about the lie, then Arya knows the whole story.
Well, that's the best thing about being a liar. Even when you're telling the truth, people think you're lying.
Nobody believes you.
Never know. Exactly. So, kind of interesting. Kyle, any thoughts on the waif's backstory?
I mean, yes and no, right? Like, it seems pretty shitty what would happen to her, but
yeah, if it's true.
Did it happen?
I mean,
to her?
I don't. I mean, it seems like it. Like the exaggeration was a very small part of that story. I guess for the whole story or a lot of that story to be the lie, I think is too much. So maybe she was 7, or maybe maybe it was like some minor part of it. I guess.
Exactly. And it seems like Arya didn't, like, she made a guess kind of and just got lucky on the exaggeration. She's like, she'd been watching the waif's face the whole time as she told her story, but the other girl had shown her no signs, and she's like,
So I honestly don't even feel like this is guess though. No, so I think I'm giving her a little more credit here, and she's using stuff she learned and discerning even when there wasn't something to discern.
It's like subconscious almost.
Yeah, like just like there's nothing here. I didn't get anything from her, but she still knows, if that makes sense. So
that's cool.
Superpower kind of thing. Why not?
So before they can kind of finish that, are you lying about the lie thing? Bang, Kindly Man shows up.
Perfect timing.
Oh, you've returned to us.
Give me your 3 things.
And she's like, yeah, moon's black. I'm here.
3 things are?
Narbo, 3 fingers don't work.
Yeah, he wants to be an oarsman.
Quench and Alakwa were fighting, but thinks that they'll come back.
Again, I think this is kind of funny. She says little Narbo plans to be an oarsman. That's very vague. Or it's ambiguous, I guess. Does that mean a mummer? Or does that mean he's going to go fucking row a boat in the ocean?
I mean, I'm going to say this too. Like, why does that even... Okay, you learned that today. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, what does it matter?
I guess my point is, what did she learn?
That Narbo got stabbed in the hand and 3 fingers don't work.
And is going to be an oarsman. I guess my point is, if I told you, hey, this guy's going to play a game tomorrow, or like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're trying to find somebody and I say, oh, he's going to be at the ball field.
Sure.
Like, okay, which fucking ball field? You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you need to be a little more specific for it to account as something you learned.
You're implying that they're going to need to find Narbo again.
Yeah, like if we're in college, you're like, hey, where's Kyle at today? And I'm like, he's here, he's on campus with us. Like, okay, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Like, give me a little more. You didn't tell me anything useful there.
Yeah, but again, is any of this useful? The second,
I think the point here is that all information is useful. I'm going to make that argument, inject that argument into the middle of this. And I think that's kind of even what he's saying.
Because if we need to find Narbo later on in life, we need to know, is he going to be on a ship oaring somewhere, or is he going to be in a play pretending to be an oarsman? I completely understand.
Or even not cutting purses anymore, I guess, is the other side of that as well.
I guess to keep the conversation going, the reason I kind of say that is because the Kindly Man seems to be kind of a stickler on this. She says, the next number 2 is, I know that Quence and Alakwo, who are 2 of the members on the ship, got into a fight and they left. So now the ship is down 2. But I think they're going to come back. And he's like, do you know they're going to come back, or do you only think they're going to come back? And she thinks to herself, she says, I only think, but then she thinks to herself, even though I know it. Like, they need to make a living rest of everybody else, and they don't have anything else to do. So they're definitely going to come back. So he presses on that, but then she gives a vague answer for number 1.
Let me go back to Narbo, because Narbo had told his boss, I'm going to go be an oarsman. She went to the mummers and be like, hey, little Narbo wants to be an oarsman. So it's never in Narbo's plan to go with the mummers. Arya just threw that out there to him. So we didn't run into Narbo. Arya never had a conversation. Was like, Narbo, you should go be a mummer. So Narbo's going to be an oarsman.
And to your point, if she does really think these 2 guys are going to come back, then there's no opening anymore for Narbo anymore anyway.
Yeah. like, it doesn't sound like Narbo has it on his radar to go be a mummer, right? He wants to go be an oarsman, so that's what he's going to go do because he knows he can do that with his fingers, type of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Third thing,
Darren's
was
dead.
killed.
Yeah.
Darren's dead. I have his boots.
Boom. That's where it drops here, right? Yeah. It's like, oh, that's his fucking bootsies.
He was really a deserter from the Night's Watch. Someone slit his throat and pushed him into the canal, but they kept his boots. Good boots are hard to find. Just so, she tried to keep her face still. Who could have done this thing, I wonder? Arya of House Stark. She watched his eyes, his mouth, the muscles of his jaw. He's like, oh, I thought she was gone. I thought Arya had left us. I guess she's back.
Yeah.
Get her some more milk.
I don't like that she admitted kind of to it.
Yeah, almost like, let's see if you know.
Yeah, or like, let me see if I can try to lie. Like, you're playing this lying game. Like, oh, well, I heard it was
Brea, Brusco's
another
daughter did
dude
it.
that liked the singer's wife, the sailor's wife. Blah blah blah. They got in a fight. Bam, dead in the canal. Just see what happens. I don't like. She threw herself under the bus too quick, in my opinion.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, Jeff, with the like why do that, but at the same time, like I think they kind of want her to own some of this, if that makes sense. I don't know. I guess the whole point of these guys are kind of like ambiguous. Like you don't really know their motives and all that just yet, really. Well, in that sense,
I think we kind of do now. So, and stop me if I sound like I'm talking stupid. They're not just out there to go around killing willy-nilly with their skills, right? There's
they're supposed to be an order to things.
Like they're supposed to listen to the gods, right? Of like who we're killing. So
they earlier in one of the last Arya chapters, they like scolded her for like going through her like list of names, right? They're like, you can't just kill who you want. That's not what we're here for.
Yeah. So I do think if Arya was going to kill for her personal feelings, right? She killed him because he was a deserted brother of Jon. That she should have. One, this didn't have to be her third thing. She could have said anything she wanted, not brought it up at all. Two, to the third point, if she was going to bring it up, she should have just like, oh, I found that the peacock singer, he's now dead, and like try to see if she can get away with it. Like admitting that Arya did it, I think was just stupid.
I actually to that point, I guess. I think he knows.
For point one, maybe don't bring the fucking boots. Let me say.
Well,
so she pretty much had the smoking gun.
We were talking about a little bit in the spoiler section too. I don't even remember exactly why, but actually, now that we're talking about this, I think he knows. Looking at the quote, she says, "Someone slit his throat and pushed him into the canal, but they kept his boots." He says, "Good boots are hard to find." That's weird because of the Brusco thing. We'll talk about that in a minute.
It's word for word.
Just so she tried to keep her face still. And he says, "Who could have done this thing, I wonder?"
Okay.
Doesn't the question of that kind of... To me,
sure.
the question implies he knows that it was her.
Yeah, like, why'd you do that? Yeah.
It's kind of him prodding like he did on the second point, though, too. It's like, well, do you know or do you think type of thing. It's like...
Finish the information.
Again, my point one was don't even bring this up as one of your three things that you work tonight. Like, why? It's not like you... Yeah. That had to be a report. You could have said... You could have used the rooftop boyfriend thing.
Yeah,
exactly. Which you planned on.
Yeah.
And two... The whole thing is about lying. Like, you'd have been like, all right, I think fucking the fat guy punched him in the face. Maybe he was really angry. He did it and threw him in the
and like what she lies. She has to be trying to lie to them all the time in this lying game. Like worst case, what she gets slapped again? Seems like she's getting slapped.
No,
all the time.
This time you get some warm milk, and then you have a bad dream that leads to you. Yeah. So that's where we're going.
Yeah, Kyle, read the end of the chapter.
You lie. My throat is dry. Do me a kindness and bring a cup of wine for me and warm milk for our friend Arya, who has returned to us so unexpectedly. On her way across the city, Arya had wondered what the kindly man would say when she told him about Daryon. Maybe he would be angry with her, or maybe he would be pleased that she had given the singer the gift of the many-faced god. She had played this talk out in her head 100 times, like a mummer in a show, but she had never thought warm milk. When the milk came, Arya drank it down. It smelled a little burnt and had a bitter aftertaste. Go to bed now, child, the kindly man said. On the morrow you must serve. That night she dreamed she was a wolf again, but it was different from the other dreams. In this dream she had no pack. She prowled alone, bounding over rooftops and padding silently beside the banks of a canal, stalking shadows through the fog. When she woke the next morning, she was blind.
Yeah, then she woke, she was blind. Any thoughts, Kyle?
Was she blind the first time? I forget.
I mean, the
blind. Was she blind the first time?
She came here, did they give her this milk or no? milk?
No, they made her eat the tequila worm.
Okay.
Well, yeah, he tried to like scare her with a weird face, and she just ate his worm. I don't think
out
that
her
was
eye.
he said no one's ever tried to eat my worm before.
So then, what is this? What is this milk then? I guess like obviously it's got some like poison. The sweet, maybe not the sweet sleep because
it'd have been cool if
it didn't smell
the Wave
sweet.
told us what this poison was like.
Yeah.
This one will make you go
this
blind.
This one's a warm milk. Yeah, it makes you go blind. But it only lasts a day, or yeah, something like that. You know what I mean? Like, that would have been nice.
Forever.
But like this hasn't happened to anybody else before. We've never seen this. She hasn't seen it. Like
Eamon's the only blind person I think we know of, and I think that was old age.
Well, blind Becco in this chapter has the hot sauce.
blind Becca. Oh yeah.
Maybe that was warm milk induced.
Well, I wasn't worried about somebody being blind. I was worried about this poison or whatever before. If we had heard of some milk, or if we've seen her drink it or not drink it, or give it to somebody else. But anyway, yeah. I mean, it seems like they want her to learn a lesson, but also at the same time, the dream kind of implies that she is right. Like that's a very like.
What do you mean? How so?
Implies that she is what?
Blind?
Like she's along bound. No, that she's like part of. She's learned this craft of these people.
I don't understand that connection at all.
You don't think this dream implies that she's an assassin in the future? Or like
I don't understand what you're talking about. I think the dream is weird because normally when she dreams, you're talking about this very last dream, right?
bounding over rooftops and padding silently beside the banks of a canal, stalking shadows through the fog. That to me is like, she is like, this is still badass wolf dream, right? But it's different because now she's an assassin.
To me, it's weird because it's different because it seems like she's not Nymeria in the Riverlands. Like normally, when she's wolf dreaming, we know how that works. Like the Stark kids just go into their wolf. That doesn't seem like that's what's happening here. I guess
I agree.
Yeah. Okay. So we're in agreement there. To me, I don't know what to make of that. I guess
the dream to me implies that like she's now here.
So she's like dreaming
because she had been connected via dreams to that old life, right? Like that was kind of still happening.
I see.
Now this dream has kind of is transplanted to here.
Gotcha. She's not like actually in something physical right now. She's just like,
yeah. I mean, she drinks some fucking crazy drugs, man.
I gotcha. She's she's like disconnect. She's still doing the wolf dream thing, but disconnecting from the Arya
peyote
side.
or something, or DMT. Maybe it's DMT milk.
I see.
I don't know. Cool. Do we not want to like?
No. I get what you're saying. I understand. You're basically saying like she's still doing the wolf dreams, but like somehow she's disconnected from the Arya side of things. So she's no longer connecting to Nymeria. She's doing her wolf dreams. Just
I didn't necessarily mean a wolf in the city here, but I think she is the wolf in the city. Is what this kind of dream means.
I'm not saying I got you.
Yeah.
Cool.
And like I said, so to me that kind of implies. I don't want to say that it went well because she becomes blind, right? Like, so it seems punishing at some point, but it also seems like she might have learned a lesson here. So I don't know.
We'll see.
Like that, like so a good lesson. Go ahead. Yeah, you guys can talk.
I do have a question, and I think it's relative and not a spoiler. Like, was going blind a punishment? And this could maybe a pointed question for Kyle. Was going blind a punishment, or is this phase 2?
Well, and that's kind of what I'm saying, right? Like, it feels phase 2-y, but at the same time, being blind isn't cool either for her. So for her, it feels like a punishment now. But if it comes out like Kindly Man's like, now use your others, like show us what you can do without, this.
So then it makes you think if it is phase 2, that what she did, then like killing as Arya Stark is kind of like, all right, cool, you did it. Bam, let's go on, moving on.
If it is phase 2, then somehow this, which seems like the very not House of the Undying thing, is somehow what made her pass the test. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, and that's kind of what I'm wrestling with, right? Like,
again, I think
that's my point.
We're getting towards the end of the books. I think these are questions that people toy with. Like, it's one of the things that people think: do we really understand the motives of the House of the Undying? Maybe they say they want her to become no one, but they're really wanting her to become as more Arya. Like, if this is a stage 2 graduation, maybe you know what I mean. Like, maybe what they're saying isn't what they want, type thing. But
at the same time, like, so Arya in the city sense has left. Sure, these people know that she's Arya, but the city doesn't know Arya. So even if this is kind of pinned on Arya, it doesn't matter that much that she's still here.
Yes, that's
but
true.
They're pissed at her, right? Like, they're maybe not pissed at her, but the Kindly Man is disappointed in her. But the Arya part isn't that important itself.
The only other thing I can think is like, what if? And I don't think this is how this works, but like, what if somebody came in. I don't think this actually happened. But what if somebody came and said like, "Hey, I'll pay you." Like maybe Sam got pissed off, and Sam's like, "Yo, I'm going to House of the Undying." He doesn't have any money.
Undying?
Here's some
House
gold.
of the Undying.
House of Black and White.
Is that the Warlock house? The house.
That's
of
the
Undying?
Warlock house. Yeah.
There's an Undying people
There's too many house. Yeah, that's true.
that we were talking about earlier. People
True.
that don't know death.
So
Anyway.
but say Sam comes to the house after Daron's a dick. Sam comes to the House of Black and White, and he's like, "Please kill Daron. He sucks." And the kindly man hears this, and the kindly man playing 3D chess is like, "You know what? If I put Arya out there, eventually she's gonna kill Daron because she doesn't like because he knows who Arya is, and he knows that knows John's, and you know what I mean. Like maybe if Daron was a commission, maybe she put Arya out there with the goal of go kill Daron, but he didn't tell her that. You know what I mean? I don't think this is the case.
Knowing that this would piss her off enough, yeah.
Knowing that it would happen, exactly.
Yeah.
Again,
I don't
think that's the case, but I think that it's one of the things where we don't know enough about anything of this stuff to make conclusive decisions really about anything.
Yeah, and I mean, that doesn't seem like a Sam thing and all that, right? Like, so that whole side kind of falls apart.
And he doesn't have any money anyway, so like somebody else would have to commission Daron's death, which doesn't make any sense, but yes.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe it's one of those things where, like, there still is to the House of the Many Faces Black and White here. Maybe they do kind of value not the wall, but like the fact that this guy was kind of an oath breaker, a fugitive in his own right here. So like, it's not like it was completely. You're right. We said it earlier. Like, I don't know that he deserved to die for this, but like maybe they see it as he does, and so I don't know. Like, so she didn't do a necessarily evil or bad thing, but at the same time, like, this Arya girl can't be around here anymore. She's kind of used up her existence, kind of like Jaqen did, right? Like, where he just disappeared.
So I guess last thing to talk about is Arya's a psychopath. That's my stance. I have a big problem with this killing. She's 11 years old. She just killed Daron. Why?
Yeah.
Fair.
Well,
she doesn't like him. That's why.
No, because you're a deserter and deserters die.
That's not her responsibility.
Yeah, she's a fucking Stark. It's exactly the Starks. The Starks killed the deserters from the wall. What are you talking about?
That is fair. That is fair. That is something the book started with.
That is literally
the
the family's job as Warden of the North, is to kill the deserters.
This seems like the Lord of Winterfell's job, it's hard to
which might be part of why she's not getting in trouble here, right? Maybe these guys understand that is her job. I don't know, right?
Like she should ship him back to Jon.
No.
Right? You don't take matters into your own hands.
How are you going to ship him back to Jon? She's an 11-year-old girl. You just said that.
My point is, you still don't take matters. It's not how this works. It's not like, hey,
She's killed multiple people
whoever caught Garrett, whatever Northman caught Garrett. Was it Garrett and whoever the one who escaped the prologue chapter,
well,
the first
who
brand
cares?
chapter, the guy who gets beheaded. The thing is, Ned beheaded him after somebody in the North caught him. They didn't catch him and be like, "I'm a Northman. You deserted. That means you die. That means I'm gonna take you to my lord."
She's also the only Northman.
She's the Stark, though.
He got to speak to Ned, plead his case to Ned before Ned said, "No, I'm gonna kill you anyway."
And they literally were talking on this walk, and he said, "Oh,
And this
too
dude
late
said,
for
"Fuck
me.
those
Sorry,
dudes."
couldn't go with them." All right, you fucked up. You fucked up. You
My
die.
point is, there's a difference between being Arya and being the Lord of Winterfell. Like in this society,
Sure.
right?
Who's the Lord of Winterfell?
Responsibility
Right now?
doesn't just flow equally over everyone in the house. Cersei can't just make claims while Robert's in charge, right? Like while Robert's still alive. That's not how that works. If there's a rightful lord, which isn't Arya,
No.
then like
They're in
she
Essos.
doesn't have the right to make this decision.
I don't know. I don't
Jon should make
know
this
why you're
decision.
on this hill. Why are you so trying to stand so tall?
She's an 11-year-old girl who just murdered someone literally because she didn't like him.
She's murdered multiple people at this point in her story, and now you're worried that she's a psycho?
Everybody else that she's killed, there seems to be like some necessity to it. The guards at Harrenhal are the closest thing to a murder before that, but everything else was like a fight. Like she was fighting. There was like a fight that popped off at the inn, and she helped kill Polliver and stuff, right? Like, okay.
Why couldn't they have just... Didn't the one person yield? Couldn't they have taken him hostage somewhere? Or...
I'm on the side of Arya as a psychopath. I don't
Well,
think
I'm
it
not saying
started
she's-
here. I think this is where it's very clear. I think it's a slow roll.
I'll say this. Is she a psychopath? I won't say that, because I do think she's working. I don't think she's just killing to kill, and I do think she's gone numb to killing a bit, where it's like, well, fuck it, I can kill anybody I want to right now.
Kind of psychopath behavior.
Which is psychopath behavior. But I do think she has a feeling that there's a reason.
I guess my argument is if we would have had one Darien chapter, every single reader would have a huge problem with this. One Darien chapter, just 5 pages from his point of view, and I bet you we have a huge problem with this. Just because, again, it's easy for us to hate him.
You can say that about a lot of the people in this book that we don't get a POV from. I've said that multiple times.
I guess my point is it's easy to hate him because he fucked over Sam, and we see him mostly through Sam's point of view. And then we see him through Arya, who has a very Stark-centered point of view. Nobody in Bravo seems to have a problem with this guy.
Sure, but Arya does, because she is a northern girl. She is a Stark who knows what a deserter. We have known that deserters die because they become the most dangerous people. So at the end of the day, like, that's reason enough for me to believe that why Arya thinks this guy should die. Should she have killed him and tossed him in the canal? Canal. I don't know.
I was Team Nelson at the beginning of this when it was like, oh yeah, I guess this guy didn't deserve to die for just being an accused.
Sure, he definitely got the short end of the stick. It sounds like
potentially, right? I don't know about that.
Why he had to go to the wall in the first place, I'll agree, is not fair to him.
But I am now, like I said, I think Jeff has kind of explained enough to at least.
Hang on, time out. Jeff, you just said you'll admit that it's not. Maybe the reason he went to the wall isn't fair. But if that's true, then you're saying it's not fair why you got sentenced to a life punishment. But so the reason that you tried to step out of bounds and get away from that thing, that's fair for you to be murdered for that.
You're asking me to look at it from a meta view with everything, with all the information. Arya doesn't have all the information. She knows that he is a deserter of the Night's Watch who doesn't want to do his duty with Sam, and he's a fuckboy for that. Not because he was unfairly sent there. She doesn't know any of that, which, fine, if you want to look at it from that greater world point of view that we have, sure. But she is, again, thinking about it as that, and that's why she killed him. So...
Nelson, this is, I think, where Jeff and maybe not a lot of disagreements per se, but a lot of our, like, these same things happen where it's like, you're both arguing good points from kind of, and I mean, I'm guessing putting my own tires right. I'm arguing a good point too, and I'm arguing against Jeff, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you both have a good point, but it's that perspective kind of thing that Jeff is using of the book perspective.
Yeah, Jeff's taking it 100% through Arya's point of view, and I agree. Like,
and that's why right now I'm kind of changing to the Jeff perspective on this.
Yeah, I agree that Arya, from her perspective, has an argument why this makes sense. I guess my holistic argument is, if you look at it from a holistic point of view, Daron actually isn't that bad of a guy. And even from a 100% Arya point of view, she should still have if she's like truly a Stark and wants to follow the Stark ways, this is not her call to make.
What's she going to do? Take him back to the House of the White and Black and be like, hey, he's a bad dude because he's a deserter. No.
Yes. No, that's actually a great... Yes.
No. They would be like, why the fuck did you bring this guy back here? This means nothing to me. Get out of here. Actually, give me your robe. You don't even belong here as a student anymore.
I agree. That's what would happen. But I also agree that that is a better path forward for her than I'm just going to take matters.
Forward, she's training to be an assassin.
Hold on. Let me drop this in there. Jeff is like the biggest Batman fan ever, so I can understand like why you don't understand why this is a problem. Like you can't just decide because someone did wrong that it's up to you to make matters right. That's the Batman point of view. That's the whole vigilante point of view. Arya's being I guess in my point, she's being a vigilante here, when really this isn't her responsibility. She needs to report him to the proper authorities.
But she's kind of the law.
She's not. Just because she has the last name Stark doesn't mean... Again, you guys are kind of right. Just because the Stark house is so fucked up that she might actually be the rightful ruler of Winterfell. Because Jon's gone, Sansa might be married. You know what I mean? Like, she might actually be the rightful ruler of Winterfell. I guess Bran's still alive, so that's not true. Bran is the rightful ruler. It's up to Bran. Arya needs to defer to Bran. It's really confusing because no one knows what's going on. It doesn't need to be deferred,
though. It's like the one rule. If you desert from the wall, you die. It's not a trial. It's not a let's hear your story and send you back.
No. What does Ned say in the first Bran chapter?
I don't know. Pull it up.
Like, you have to listen to them, right? You have to hear their story. She did hear their story.
If I take this just short quote out of context, you guys aren't going to understand. But what Ned says is the man who passes the sentence should swing the sword.
Exactly.
Right? The one who decides you're guilty should be the one that kills you. And I understand that applies here in this situation. That
literally applies here. I was going to use that on my side of the argument.
My point is, whoever captured Garrett, he's a Northman. He could have decided Garrett's a deserter. I'm going to kill him. No. But instead, he took him to Ned. He brought Ned up. Ned came out of his castle. Ned brought his whole fucking family. Took a day's ride out of Winterfell.
Job to swing the
Why?
sword.
because it's Ned's job. Exactly. It's
a
Bran's
Stark's,
job right now,
Stark's
not
job.
Arya's job.
It's the Stark's job.
No.
Yes.
You're just expanding it because you want it to fit Arya. That's
No,
not how the
you
rules
want
work.
Arya to take. You want Arya to take him to some other judge. You want him to go back to the house of the White and Black, which makes no sense at all.
No,
she is
I
the
don't.
Stark.
I want him to take
she
him
is
to
the only
Bran.
Stark here. She is her taking him back.
Bran isn't here.
Her taking him somewhere is her basically saying you're guilty, which means now she passed the sentence. Now she should swing the sword.
I understand why. That's why I was afraid to bring up that quote, like that short quote, because I know
you were
I know
saying
the
like
short
there's a
quote makes it
trial
sound-
for Gerard. Like sure, they might have like all right, what are your last words? But there was no trial. There was a
No,
trial.
well,
his head
it
was
says-
coming off. His head was coming off. No matter what he said, his
There's a-
head was coming
hang on.
off.
No, there's a quote that says like Ned heard his last words in the morning air, and then he took a knee and put his head over the stump or something. Like he got a chance to say
Heard
it,
his last
to make
words.
his plea.
There was no fucking objection.
Arya, and you guys kind of said this, which is why I didn't make this argument earlier. Is Arya did basically say like, "Hey, what's your plan? Like, give me your story before she killed him."
Yeah.
But she didn't say, "Hey, you better tell me the right story, or else you're gonna fucking die right now." You know what I mean? If she would have said it that way, the same way Ned did to Garrett, she might have got a different story from Daron. You know what I mean?
Did he say much of a different story?
If she'd have said like, "Hey, you better go back to the Watch, or you're gonna die," which it doesn't. Again, I'm not saying that's the offer Ned gave Garrett. We don't know that, but
Yeah, I think you're
We've got our
both
points
you both are correct in your own aspect here, and like Jeff is saying from Arya, like this is her job and her duty, and that would also kind of feed into why the house here doesn't quite hate her for it, right? Like I mean, like she did kind of justly kill him potentially, but not in their way.
so let's say Ilan Payne for some reason, and obviously this wouldn't happen. Ilan Payne shows up first thing next Arya chapter, and she just murders him. He does nothing. He just walks by. She murders him. Is that a problem?
A problem to who?
You.
I don't care if
Is she
Arya
a
kills.
psychopath?
I don't care. What does it matter to me? Like, I don't care if she's a psychopath. I don't care if Euron's a psychopath. They're characters in a book that I'm reading. I'm not taking her out to dinner later. I'm not choosing Arya to be my babysitter. I don't give a fuck if she's right-minded or not. She's a character in a book.
I think you know what I mean. You're just being a dick. Here's what I mean. When we're reading Arya chapters, we're like, yeah, go Arya, yeah, go Arya, yeah, go Arya. Me, when I get to her killing Daron, I'm like, whoa, hang on, hold on a minute there. It seems like you're not. My question is, if she killed Ilan, would you be like, whoa, hold on a minute?
No, we're all cheering. I don't.
She's an 11-year-old. Ilan did nothing wrong except do her job. He killed Ned because his commanding officers told him to kill Ned.
Whatever. I don't.
They were just doing their jobs. That's not a fucking. That's from like the Nuremberg trial, man.
You want
You can't-
Ilan to
you
say
can't-
no to kill Ned at that point when Joffrey's like, bring me his head? Ilan should be like, nope, I'm walking
All
away.
right, so don't use Ilan. Use Use Poliver
Yeah.
or somebody.
No, I used Ilan on
use
purpose.
Cersei.
He's
Use
on the
Cersei.
list. Arya wants him dead, and she would kill him if she saw him for no reason other than she saw him. He's on the list.
Sure.
That's why I brought him
Okay.
up.
Like
She's okay
everything.
with murdering people for no reason other than I don't like them. Is my point.
I will say this: everything Arya's trying to do right now is all revengeful, and it's not. There's no other reason behind it, right? It's not. She does not really cares to be a house of the undying. Like she's doing all this to kill people, right? We've known
It's
that
the
for
means
a
to an
long
end.
time. So, if is she a psycho because of it, or is she just is it all revenge based? I don't know if that makes you a psycho or not.
Well, I'm also playing
Little
devil's
bit.
advocate. I like when I'll give you guys a little secret. I liked when Arya killed Daron. Like fuck Daron. I like Sam.
Yeah.
So fuck Daron. I think it's interesting though. An 11-year-old girl shouldn't be going around just killing
Again, I
whoever
think
she
we
wants
put
because
too
she
much
doesn't
on-
like them. And that's what I understand that you guys are making the argument, and it's a good argument. I think George is great because he plays it this gray area where there is a justification for her killing him. But I think at the end of the day, my point is that with the Ilan example, that's not why she's killing him. She's killing him because she doesn't fucking like him and she doesn't care at this point. She's just killing people, which I think is crazy for an 11-year-old girl. I guess is my
But
general
it's not.
point.
She's not just running down the alley and being like, stabbed you in the gut. You're gonna bleed out and die in a couple hours.
She
Who's
literally did
next?
though. But she
no,
did though.
no, she didn't. No, she didn't. she knew that this guy. She heard his case and she decided he should die. I'm not the judge. That's my opinion. It's not like she just picked Darren out of the blue and killed him.
My point is Arya is not the judge either.
Why not though?
Just because you can kill someone you don't like and get away with it doesn't mean you have the right to. And Arya is getting to that point.
Let's not speak about the rights of people in this book because there's.
You know what I mean? Like again, Ilyn. We don't like Ilyn, but I don't think he deserves to be killed for like his part in Ned's death was he's a soldier following orders. Like if he denies that, he's dead.
Yeah,
if he denies that, he's killed.
I don't care. The other part I think we put too much in is like, oh, she's an 11-year-old girl. Like, okay, she is an 11-year-old girl. She's done a lot of things now that like can push her past like I'm an 11-year-old.
No 11-year-old girl will ever do.
Yeah. So like every time something that she does or Sansa does, like, well, they're only 12 years old. Like, okay, we get it, but she's literally been fucking across the globe as like a homeless person.
That's fair because like, in this book, you could pretty much just give everybody 5 years and just.
Oh, she's 9 years old. Like, we got to get it. We got to get over that age is like a huge thing in these stories because it really isn't. The girls are getting married. Girls are blah blah blah. Like kids, Brand's 8 years old with no legs.
You say that everybody else had these good things. Brand's got no legs.
I just was trying to think of a young guy that was doing something.
So I'm partly playing devil's advocate again. Like, I don't think it's. I have an issue with Arya killing Darren, but I like it. Like again, Darren fucking sucks. He's addicted to Sam. We like Sam, so I'm playing devil's advocate for the argument. But do you guys, Jeff? Will you concede that you understand what I'm talking about too?
I do. I can see that Arya is again. Her whole storyline is pretty much murderous, psychopath driven. So sure, but it's who she is. It's who she's dived into. So
well, and I think that's the point. It's how you get to this. How do you get an 11-year-old girl that's just going to kill people for no reason? It's because she just seen people be killed for no reason the past 2 years of her life.
She is numb to death. Yeah, I mentioned that.
She's been conditioned to feel this way and do this stuff. Yeah, exactly. You can't. It's hard to blame her. So yes, she's a psychopath, but it's not her own fault. And she's got a lot of trauma.
Yeah, and you armchair psychiatrists out there, when we say psychopath, we don't know. I don't even know what the fuck that means. We just mean like a crazy person who's. You know,
which also is probably not. I don't know. I don't even know if that's the right answer.
Whatever.
The right word anymore. I don't know.
The psychopath technically is somebody who blah, 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 fuck
or that's like an outdated term or something. We're not smart enough to know the new term. We're not trying to be rude or belligerent.
Yeah,
insulting.
All right, well that's it. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, Kyle. Sam 4.
Bye.
Bye, Kyle.
Sam 4. Later, nerds.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Bye, Kyle.
Bye, Kyle. Thanks for hanging out with us.
See you on the next one. For Samwell, 3.
Is that it? 3?
4. Actually, it's 4 because it was 1 at Castle Black, 2 on the boat, 3 in Bravos, and 4 is. It's actually a really sad one. Aemon dies.
Yeah, but old people die.
In case you can't tell by us not knowing what the next Sam chapter is by this point in the podcast, we are recording the spoiler section first this time. Not a big deal, but yeah, let's get into it. Spoiler section. Jeff, what we got?
Not a big deal. I did have a couple ones.
Yeah?
I mean, early hints that she couldn't drop Arya Stark. The first one happened when she was on the little boat with Brusco. I forget.
What are you talking about right now? What's the general point?
She couldn't drop her. She's not truly letting go of Arya Stark. I think it was the first wolf dream when she was just thinking back about her dreams.
Hot take, there is only one wolf dream. Actually, not a hot take. You'll agree with me when we get there.
The second one, she's a cat. Yeah.
Kyle, I don't think Kyle will know that, though.
It was a kind of a weird dream, though. I was trying to think about it. The one where, like, Cat was there, her mom being Cat, and then there was a monster with a dog head. That's basically what happened when she got to the Red Wedding. She's trying to get in, and Hound hits her to make sure she doesn't. Yeah. I was just trying to think if it was actually maybe like a foreshadowing of like, but you said Biter is gonna die or Rourke, whoever has the. Yeah, I think it's like, weird if the wolf, if the dog head helmet passes on to a next. Yeah, that's a good thought. Yeah, because I was wondering, like, why is this the traumatic moment that she keeps dreaming about? Like, this was bad, but like, she's seen a lot of bad. Like, she saw her dad get beheaded. I guess she didn't see her mom die either. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of bad shit that she's gone through that she could be having bad dreams about. Yep. So yeah, for sure. Let me hit you with this one. I think this is a Nelson original. No, that doesn't exist. And it's got my favorite word in it. So Dawn was dropped here, and here's how it goes. I had this too, but.
Yeah, let's see where it leads to for you, though.
Okay.
Fog was bad, rain was worse, and freezing rain was worst. But every so often would come a morning when the dawn broke pink and blue, and the air was sharp and salty. Those were the days Cat loved best.
Okay.
So dawn, if we're talking about dawn equals
Lightbringer.
So if we just replace it, Lightbringer broke pink and blue.
Yeah, so it's Bolton and somebody.
I was thinking pink and blue as one sigil.
Okay.
Brienne's sigil is pink and blue. It's just quartered pink and blue with suns and moons.
I didn't know that.
And dawn is that transition between the sun and the moon. So this quote, the way I'm reading this, is Lightbringer broke Brienne as the air was sharp and salty. So like she's Brienne's Nisa theory. Ooh, what about that? Based on sigil colors. That's a deep one.
I'll take the original.
Comment below what you think about that one. Yeah, I like that. I got kind of excited about it. Not that I believe it, but I was like, I don't know. I was drinking the Kool-Aid on it.
Give me something if it was pink for Bolton and blue for somebody else.
There's got to be a blue house. Seaguard.
Yeah, I was thinking of like a main like bad person, like who would be blue, but
Seaguard is blue, but they're kind of on the good side. I mean, just White Walkers, blue.
Yeah.
Maybe Bolton becomes a White Walker that has pink eyes or has blue eyes.
Didn't you think? Oh, you think he's a vampire?
There are some people. I don't think that I presented that theory before. Yes, though. Yes. Yeah. So that was my cool original one. There's another big one in this chapter that's not an original one that I kind of like, but also as I was reading the chapter, I'm like, there's a huge like anti point to it. But did you have anything else before you get to that one?
Let me just comb through real quick here. Was there anything about Red Rago teaching her how to use a knife?
Slit a purse. Not that I had. I think it was the first mention we had of that guy. Yeah. I was actually wrong in the Sam chapter. There was two guys that were fucking with Sam, and I thought that she remembered those guys teaching her to slit a purse. But no, she mentions them in this chapter, but just as the guys that she saved Sam from. So
there was a couple times reading it through, I'm like, wait, who's she talking about here? And then like, is this current time, past time? So
yeah, a lot of names.
All right. So Descendant, this is a cool one, I think. And I don't know if you'll have it too. All right. The Black Pearl, the one Lady of the Night.
Yeah.
She was a descendant of a dragon prince.
Yes.
And her name is Bellegere.
Belladonna or something?
Otheris is the last name.
Okay.
Read it in another way. I'm saying Otheris because I want you to like bling.
I gotta find that quote in my notes. I don't know exactly where it is.
It literally reads others.
Oh yeah.
It's Othersys. They just threw a Y in front of her. Her last name is Others. She's
gotcha.
Like,
yeah.
That's kind of weird.
That is weird. I didn't even notice that. So I kind of know some of her history.
You probably read it as Otheris, and I'm like,
Well, I'm just thinking right about the history because I know like that the Dragon King that like Dragon Prince that she married, that like the first one married with and had the baby came from is Aegon. Well, there's 5 Aegons. Aegon the Fourth, the unworthy.
Okay.
So he wasn't king at the time, but he became king, and it makes sense. We know he's sleeping around. So
it's just
Targaryen
interesting
king that's mentioned there. Yeah, the name. I want to find it.
Yeah, I don't have the page number where you could, but actually just pulled right to it. 7:30 for me, which would have been like midway through.
I got it. Oh yeah, you're right. Otheris, Bellegere Otheris, and Bellanora Otheris. Yeah, it's a weird name. I wonder if you can like, what's it called when you can like move the letters around like they do with Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets with Voldemort's name, Tom Riddle, like a anagram or something like that.
Yeah.
I wonder if George's doing that.
I just read the last name. I was like, that's suspicious, and I don't have anything cool about it. Like, what does that mean? Like, did the Targaryens actually start the others? Like, that doesn't really make sense, right? But I don't know.
Yep. So I don't like this point, but I bring up the points even if they counteract the theory I like. Arya bathes in lemon water. The whole lemon gate theory that Dany saw a lemon tree.
Lemon can't be in Bravos.
I mean, they can't. The theory kind of implies they can't grow in Bravos.
They could get traded here.
They could get imported, but you probably wouldn't just be bathing in normal water. You know what I mean? Like, lemons are expensive. I don't think you're gonna put it in your bath water, right?
We did hear that lemons were kind of a crazy commodity.
Yeah, somebody in the Riverlands asked for them. And like, what? You think we're in Dorne? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it made it seem like it was kind of rare. And now we have it's not lemons, but Maribald's wandering around with oranges, right? And he's like he's basically treating his oranges like gold. You know what I mean? Handing them out. Well, he does hand them out to a lot of people, but he likes his oranges because they're clearly rare.
Yeah. All right. So I have one, and it's kind of towards the end. It's like Kindly Man, Brusco. Are they the same person? Was Kindly Man?
Yeah, so I really thought I thought this a lot too, but I actually recently re-listened to the next two Arya chapters, which are in dance. I listened to them on audiobook to just understand where her story's going. And when she gets sent out to kill the insurance guy, she gets sent back to Brusco to be Cat. And Brusco's surprised when she shows up. So I thought the same thing too. Cause you're saying that because they both say the exact same thing to the boots, right?
The boot thing is just like maybe he reported back to the Kindly Man, but like, all right, there's obviously weird shit going on with them. So like, do they have a fucking, I don't know, glass candle where they're just like watching her the whole time type of thing? Or
well, it seems like if it's really important for her to hide her identity, you have to trust Brusco a lot, right? And and probably his daughters and stuff, right? Daughters and sons.
Yeah, like I'm not sold that even if Brusco, like he's not another worker of the people type of thing. I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether he's the Kindly Man or just another servant, I don't know.
Yeah. And when you haven't read it, but in the Winds of Winter chapter for Arya, she gets sent to basically start working. She takes on a new identity where she's working with a group of mummers.
Yeah,
like she basically becomes a mummer. You know how in the show they put on the play of the Seven Kingdoms and she's a spectator? She's in it. Like she's not. She's like actually supposed to be.
I recall.
And obviously that makes sense. Like what do you mean you recall? You didn't read it. The Winds of Winter chapter.
I thought you were asking if I remember her in the show being a mummer.
Well, she's not in the show. She's pushing her barrow. She sees the show and she gets sent to kill a mummer.
She's just selling to the.
She's sent to kill a mummer.
Yep. So
here she is a mummer in the Winds of Winter chapter, so it's likely to change, but it makes sense, right? Like there's a lot of characteristics that a mummer has that one of these people would also have. Like disguises, voices, acting. Right? So, and a lot of people think in that Winds of Winter chapter that like a lot of the mummers are part of like they're paid by the House of the Undying to train their people. Like they're either they are all House of the Undying people or there's like a connection there. So yeah, I think something the same is going on with Brusco. Either he is one of them, or there's some type of big connection.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you want to hit on?
The cat is cool. The Arya, there's one big one that we haven't hit on yet.
Them all
little ones.
All the cats following her, like she's Serena Kyle.
Well, and then
Selena Kyle.
Well, so the cat's following her. Then at the end, she wargs into one. I wonder if Kyle will notice that. Because the only hint, she says I'm in a wolf, but the only hint is that she's actually in Bravos. And me and you know that.
She's walking on the rooftops and she's by the canals. I think.
But she says she had another wolf dream, and then she's like,
I know, but she's just like.
You don't think you and I just know that because we know that she's gonna work a cat next chapter?
I'm gonna guess, and this is again weird because we haven't talked to Kyle yet. Kyle's gonna be all over this one.
You think so? Okay, that's interesting. I think he's not gonna notice. I don't think you would have noticed either if I didn't tell you like 2 days ago that Ari's about to warg into a cat.
No, come on.
Because it's like kind of the climactic ending.
I've read the books. I did read the books. I recall
I guess because it's the climactic ending of the next chapter. Basically, one of the three things I think he tells her is, "I know you're the one that hits me," because she's blind now, and then somebody comes and just beats the shit out of her every time, and she doesn't know which one it is, and he's like, "I know it's you." And he's like, "How do you know?" And she's like, "You already got your three things. Like that, I don't have to tell you another thing." She's like, maybe next time he would say that it was the cat hiding in the the cat that followed her home and is now hiding in the rafters or whatever. So she makes it very clear that she's warging into the cat next one. So I think this is kind of like a cool sprinkle.
I do think Kyle's gonna be over.
It's just crazy that next chapter isn't. It's like 40 chapters into Dance of Dragons. Like we're so far from the next Arya chapter. It's
weird. It's just a weird thing. Like.
It's a weird way to cut it up.
I'm more for like if you're gonna do this, like finish Arya and then we don't see her at all in the next one, Dance of Dragons. It's weird that we come back to her. But so a couple things. One, I don't think she needed to tell that that Arya Stark killed Daeron as her third thing. Like she could have used anything she wanted as number 3, and like I'm curious if they would have just been like, all right, she gave us 3 things. That's all we need to know, or. Would he have then made her try to tell her a lie, right? So she's all in, like, this big thing is like the Rocky montage. This whole chapter is like Arya in training to be a faceless man, right? She's getting stronger by carrying the crates. She's, acting a little bit, right? She's playing, a little bit of the lie game with the waif. And then there's just like these 3 things at night. I don't know. Are they trying to like gather information? Are they trying to see if she Well, what is the purpose of the three things, right?
Yeah.
Are the kindly men and the House of the Dying just gathering info about people, or are they trying to put her through a test of, are you going to tell, like, we know what you did, are you going to tell us the truth about
It's a
it?
good question. The three things does seem kind of weird. Like, obviously she's going to be learning things whether you tell her to or not. Like, yeah, like, I don't know if it doesn't seem like they're asking her, like, tell us the most important things that happened.
Sure.
I don't want to talk about too much because I think some of this we're going to retread with Kyle and non-spoiler. So
Yeah.
she covers 3 poisons.
Yeah. This is a big one.
I think we can probably talk about this with Kyle too because it's kind of like the last hint of it. But when she mentions basilisk blood, the first thing Arya asks is, would it work on dogs? Do you have any thoughts on why she would ask that?
I'm thinking about the show. They could give it to the dogs and eat Ramsay.
Weiss was one of her 3 kills that happened at the Harren Hall.
And
was
Jack
killed by his own dog, and Jack just like
who was like super
afterwards.
loyal. I didn't think about that one though. I was thinking about a future kill.
And it's funny because you'll notice when we go through the non-spoiler cover, she like chews her lip and then asks about dogs, like immediately. So it's like you can kind of insinuate she's even thinking that case,
right? But yeah, the first one, Sweet Sleep, used in cakes. This is the Joffrey
so that's
kill.
important. It's a good point. No, that was the Strangler.
Oh, yeah,
Who's
you're
this
right.
one?
Sorry.
This is important. This actually is a big one that maybe we shouldn't talk to Kyle about. So it's a good point. Do you know? We know someone right now is taking this as medicine, not as poison.
Well, the one ate at. I thought the second one ate at the man's insides. The Tears of Lys, which would have been.
No, we're talking about that was definitely.
That's
John
definitely
Aaron was Tears of Lys. We'll talk about Kyle.
I thought you're not saying Tywin for that too.
Maybe Tywin. I think people think there's a different one for Tywin, but maybe that one too. Sweet Sleep is what Littlefinger's giving Sweet Robin. And in this chapter, we'll go over in the non-spoiler, but pay attention to it.
A little bit of pinch.
And I might even mention it to Kyle. Like, she's giving dosages for a grown man here. Like, a pinch will put him to sleep. 3 pinches will kill his ass. And Sweet Robin, who's like 11, is getting the doses that puts a full man to sleep. You think that would kill him, right? Like, you got a kid. He takes baby Tylenol. He takes Tylenol. He takes a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So,
okay.
So that one's crazy. And here's the biggest one.
But I mean, that's the same as Milk of the Poppy too, right? Isn't like too much of that, or maybe we've heard of someone get sweet sleep before.
I don't think the waif says it here, but the thing that Maester Coleman will later, basically when Littlefinger's like, give him more sweet sleep, Coleman's like, hold on, sweet sleep doesn't leave the flesh. So it's not like after 2 days it's gone. It seems like, okay, 3 pinches over a lifetime. If you combine what the waif says and Coleman says, it's not like 3 pinches, 1 pinch one night, and every night you're good. It's like 3 pinches total, you're done.
He'd be dead by now, though.
Again, people think he's got some magic powers, and that kind of like, because Bran was given sweet sleep one time when he was having bad dreams, and it didn't help. It didn't stop his dreams. So people think it's the same thing with Sweet Robin, where he's had some magic powers. We'll get into that later. Big one I like the most. There's one of the whores is named Lana. She's 14 years old, has blonde hair.
Yeah.
Her mom is the sailor's wife, who makes people marry her before she'll sleep with them. Can you see where I'm going with this? Do you know where the fan theory with these two is? Lana, 14 years old, gold hair.
Lannister with gold hair.
Yeah, so who could have had a child about 14 years ago, whose mom is now a whore in Bravos?
You're saying this is Tyrion's kid?
People think this is the sailor's wife is Tysha, and that's why she makes people marry him, is because she's got like some weird.
Hold on.
Post-traumatic kink.
Are you confirming that the sailor's wife is Tysha?
No.
Okay.
This is a fan theory. I don't even know if I buy it. I really like the theory. I don't know if I believe it though.
I don't hate the theory. I think it's a cool Easter egg.
So a few hints. Sailor's wife speaks common tongue. Like Kat notes it in this chapter that she comes up and talks to her in common tongue, and she never really mentions that when anybody else talks to her.
Sure.
They say when she came in, there was somebody braiding Lana's fine, long golden hair. She's 14 years old. The ages basically match up perfectly. 14 years ago is when Tyrion did all this shit with Tysha. Yeah. So some people think Lana also could be a daughter of Garyon, who's Tyrion's uncle, who basically went west and never came back. But yeah, she's only 10 and 4. And yeah.
All right. I like the theory.
Here's one big quote, because people like this theory. Here's one quote that like basically says no to it. They said that the sailor's wife visited the Isle of the Gods on the days when her flower was in bloom and knew all the gods who lived there, even the ones that Bravos had forgotten. They said she went to pray for her first husband, her true husband, who had been lost at sea when she was a girl no older than Lana. That actually makes sense because she was young. She was like 14 years old and Tyrion was 13 when they got together. So again, the ages make sense, but Tyrion obviously wasn't lost at sea. Here's the part I don't like. She thinks that if this is Yana, it'll say it. Yeah, she thinks that if she finds the right god, maybe he will send the winds and blow her old love back to her. Said one-eyed Yana, who had known her the longest. But I pray it never happens. Her love is dead. I could taste that in her blood. If he should ever come back to her, it will be as a corpse.
Yeah.
So first off, interesting is
we have a magic person that we have like a woods witch that could
Maggie the Frog, basically. Yep.
Yeah.
And she's like, your husband's dead. We know Tyrion's not dead. However, think if Tyrion ever came to Braavos. He's like, we learn in this chapter, Ragman's Harbor is where you go. We learn, I'll show you the map. Happy Port is front and center Ragman's Harbor. So like, if Tyrion ever goes to Braavos, there's a 0% chance he doesn't. The way I see it, there's a 0% chance he doesn't come into this place, which is basically, it seems to me like George is setting up the Happy Port, like this brothel, in a place where Tyrion, if he ever comes to Braavos, will definitely, you know what I mean? It's not like in some weird spot. So
you're thinking Tyrion's going to make it here in the future.
I think one of the points that I think points to it possibly being true is, I could definitely see it being easy for Tyrion to stumble upon this accidentally.
Yeah. I think it's cool. The name leans into it.
Yeah, you don't know if you believe. Yeah, you're like me. You don't know if you believe it, but it's an interesting theory, right? There's a lot of things that point to it.
So I mean, the question
did he do this on
question
purpose?
Comes like, even though Tyrion might not be the true husband that they speak of, right? Just because he wasn't her first doesn't mean he's still not the father of Lana, right?
Yeah.
Maybe she got married younger, so I'm not gonna discount that. The one-eyed girl saw it true that she got married prior.
Yeah, but I think that's a big point against it. I feel like anytime I've ever seen anybody talk about this theory, no one points out this quote about what Yana says, which to me is a big quote against it, right? Even if you're trying to go that Tyrion is somehow a symbolic sailor lost at sea. Like, he is not dead.
No. I'm saying, why couldn't she just be married to the lost sailor before Tyrion?
Well, she was only 13 when Tyrion met Tysha.
Okay. People get married. People have gotten married younger. I don't.
Sure, but she would have had to have been like pregnant. Like
no, I'm saying Tyrion's still. I'm saying Tyrion's still the father.
Oh, she's mourning a husband pre-Tyrion.
Correct.
I mean, I don't know. Tysha went through some shit with Tyrion, right? Like, especially like after the Tyrion relationship. Like,
I'm just helping your cause, bro.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. I don't know.
I don't think it says that the lost sailor was the father. Like,
That's true. Yeah. So, interesting theory. Yeah. Again, I don't know if I believe it, but it's definitely one of the theories that I like the most is the sailor's wife, Tysha, and implication is Lana. Oh, the other thing is when Lolly's, one of the Stokeworths earlier in Feast of Crows goes up to Cersei and they're like, oh, can we name the son, Lolly's his child, after Tywin if it's a boy? We want to name it Tywin if it's a boy. We want to name it Lana if it's a girl. And Cersei's like, go fuck yourself. No. And then they name it Tyrion, right? But that's the name that they want to use to honor a Lannister. So I think another downside is, would Tysha really want to honor the Lannisters?
If she really loved Tyrion.
But Tywin sent her out on a bad note, right?
Sure, but Tyrion's still a Lannister.
Yeah, but you could go. Yeah, I guess it's hard to match Tyrion's name or Tywin or the Lannister without also like mirroring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you go with Ty, you're also matching Tywin. If you go with Lan, you're also matching Tywin. So yeah, it's a win-lose. Yeah, that's a cool one.
All right.
Yeah, that's the last one I got, though.
Do you think Kyle would since we're here first, do you think Kyle liked this chapter overall?
I think it's one of the ones that does have, like, a good amount of, like, little spoilers sprinkled throughout that, like we've said, that just kind of make a reread a little bit better. So, I don't know. I think it could be a toss-up. I could see it going either way. I think in the past, he's liked Braavos in general.
There's a lot of information. Like, she talks a lot. She long talks a bit, but I do think it's a good chapter, but there's a lot of parts of it, like, do I even need to write this note down type of thing?
You're going to hate the map that I'm about to send you guys, but
that's fine.
I'll talk about the map in the non-spoiler section, which you guys have already listened to, but see you guys in the next one. Sam 4. Bye.